virtual sky, devoid of all sensation. Everything is digital. We will elevate you. Wireframe and mythical. Vector equals sounds. What you like?
Apex, we are back with the last qualifier in the $25,000 for those who dare Apex tournament, hosted by ASUS ROG Gaming, sponsored by Intel Gaming and ASUS ROG. Today we have the sweatiest, let me repeat that, the sweatiest lobby we have seen so far. We have a bunch of teams that just got back from LA, from the ALGS land, and they are ready to rock. Driven by relentless innovation, ASUS ROG is committed to producing out-of-this-world experiences for gamers and enthusiasts everywhere. From monitors to motherboards, they've been at the top of their game for a long time now. We love ASUS ROG in this household. And without further ado, I want to welcome three familiar faces from the Apex scene to the cast today. We have Stella, my fellow ALGS co-host. We have his and hers live, Andrew and Juka, joining us as well. Guys, how's it going?
It's good. I am so excited. First of all, I can't wait for you to recap what happened last time, but also I'm so excited to see how Qualifiers 2 goes because there's some pretty big names here.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. I'm not quite sure why my camera's on and not Juka's camera right now, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm just happy to be a part of this.
Hey, it's a team effort. I know you and Juka are going to be going back and forth between games here, but absolutely insane. So last time we had 10 teams qual. They booked their tickets to the finals already, all right, where $25,000 are on the line. But today we have another 20 teams all fighting for their spots. I mean, guys, can we take a look at these teams and can you guys let me know what you guys are thinking about these teams?
I mean, we saw some of these players on screen at LAN, peeps, so I'm really excited to see how they're feeling. Obviously, they're going to be a little bit more warmed up than some of these other teams that weren't at LAN, so it's going to be really interesting. Hopefully, Elevate doesn't actually have any more contests today because we know that was a little bit rough last time.
Yeah, and I'm especially looking forward to, we have a lot of women's teams in here today, so they're going to be mixing it up, looking for some good performances out of them.
Yeah, well, they're definitely in a tough lobby. I would love to see some of these women teams pull out maybe a top 5, top 3 placement. I know they have the skill for it, and I would love for them to put on for all the women in the Apex comp scene. But speaking of finals, we have the grand finals watch June 21st in Toronto, where we're going to be partying these games live with $25,000 on the line for the boys and girls. So we took a quick look at the teams. Now, from those teams, any teams that sort of jump at you guys that you're looking might take away the lobby today?
For today, man, I don't know. Well, okay, so I want to point out how weird the team lineup is for C9 because
Yep.
I mean, we got Hal playing on C9, which when I first saw the tweet, I was like, no way, that's so weird. The way he phrased it, he knows what he was doing, so it was super funny. I don't know, man. Listen, we know that DZ is incredibly, they're really consistent in how they play, but again, we don't know. We saw how things went at LAN. You know what? I'm going to be pulling for my team, for Kim Chi Lee's team, because you know what? Complexity, listen, they're always going to be favorite in my heart, so I'm going for them today.
Bunch of good guys. Drew, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to give a big shout out to Furia team. They gave it their best at LAN. I wish they could have taken it home, so they're going to be on the grind trying to get it back to the top. I'm also looking forward to some of these women's teams. Like I mentioned, we've seen a lot of them play in a bunch of the events recently, and they don't always get to play in these lobbies with some of these other professional teams. So I would love to see some just 50-50s on drop potentially, just some good 3v3 fights with them involved as well, and especially looking forward to that.
Love that. Well, I will say I gotta go with LG. You know, we're repping them. That's my org, that's my team. So I'm hoping for some big games from the fellas. We also have a couple of substitutes and possible future predictions from the roster mania happening in Apex. So we have Koifel playing with the SSG roster. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I saw that, and it took me a minute to kind of understand what was happening. I don't know. I think it's great. Koifel's a good player. I think maybe shaking things up could be good for SSG, but we do know that SSG is also a really solid team already. So I don't know how this is going to shape out for them. You know, obviously different people have different synergies, so it's going to be really interesting to see how Koifel fits in with this crew.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah, I've been watching Koifel for a while now. An absolute demon on the roller, and just not quite reaching his potential in the pro scene right now, in my opinion, for his skill level. So hope it does work out on SSG for him.
yeah, unfortunately, you know, Xset, who Koifel was playing with, didn't make it to land, so we didn't get a full feel for that roster, but they had some unfortunate games. He was playing with the Legends Gaming squad, who was under IGL of Strafing Flame, I believe, with player K by their side. So phenomenal team. I mean, Phony is a great IGL. I think, you know, with that, Koifel is one of the best mechanical players, gunny-wise, the world has ever seen. So it's going to be insane. We also have Sykes not playing with the DZ team, all right, which is something I was like, what's going on? And replacing Sykes on the DZ team is Gent. So what do you guys actually, maybe not Gent, it's Noct. I am absolutely wrong about that. Forgive me. Noct. Do you guys see that as an upgrade, as a downgrade? What do you guys think?
No, I mean, these aren't like official shakeups, right? Like, I feel like they're just kind of having fun. Listen, the pressure is off after land. There's a little bit of a break. They want to have some fun. All these players are, I think, all of them are friends with each other. There may be some beef that we don't know about, but I feel like they're just trying to vibe. You know, obviously they do know that these teams are pretty set with their rosters. They know how everyone plays with each other. So, you know, they just want to have some fun. I mean, I think Timmy and Sykes and Designful is going to be really fun to see for DSG. And then we also see Reptar on Xset, not spelled the normal way. It's actually X set, so I think that'll be a lot of fun as well. I don't know, I think people are just trying to shake things up. You know, it's season 21, we've got Alter. It might be fun to just do something completely different. Who knows?
Oh yeah. And speaking of Alter, Drew, do you think we're going to be seeing any teams finally whip out Alter on the first ever possible tournament that Alter's being able to be used?
Listen, I mean, with $25,000 on the line, maybe I would, if it were my team, I would probably go with the the meta, the tried and true for the first couple games. If we get some good points, then we can start fooling around with Alter. But man, I can't imagine Alter is in the comp meta currently. People will be trying, maybe, like I said, maybe later in maybe game 4, 5, 6, something like that. We might see her.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the meta, Stella, what do you think of the Bloodhound Caustic Bangalore meta?
Oh man, it feels like we're just back to like season 1. It feels really good. It feels, it's the classic, right? You can't go wrong with it. But speaking of that being, you can't go wrong with it, but also I want some variety, right? I know Alter's probably not in the competitive meta right now. She kind of feels like she belongs on Broken Moon, the new updated map, just because of the way there's a lot of verticality. I think she could potentially work on Stormpoint, but again, these are high-level players. You're not going to be able to use her ult in time. Her tactical and her passive can be really useful, but then do you just want those two parts of her kit as opposed to everything? So as much as I want there to be shakeup, it is a tried and true team comp that works. I would love to see more Conduit because I do feel like she has viability, especially with the way her upgrades work. So yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of people going back to what they know, but I think we're also going to see some people pick some really weird comps because, I mean, whatever, they just want to have fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, having fun and $25,000 on the line, you know, sometimes it goes hand in hand, but dude, I'm sweating it if that was me playing. Drew, what do we think about Alter's abilities? Yes, no, OP?
So for me, really fun in pubs and ranked when you're just running it down. In comp, not the kit that I would want for my team in comp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they put the characters in the game. Sometimes they're looking to have fun, and I totally get it. They're not really building these characters around comp, but the current meta comp is so solid. Just gets you out of so many sticky situations. I don't see Alter really jumping into that mix, but she's a lot of fun.
So me personally, I really hope that we see some Alter gameplay, because like I said, this is the first tournament in the world that we're able to see Alter being played. I've already seen some insane plays with Alter in ranked, but it's a complete different play style. You know, Stella, can you talk to the viewers a little bit about like the different play styles between maybe pubs or ranked and, you know, a comp mindset?
Sure, pubs, you can kind of play whatever you want and it works because you're not really worried about survivability. You're more worried about having fun and, you know, vibing out, making sure that you get all the kill streaks that you want for like your YouTube compilations and everything. But yeah, for ranked and for comp in general, they're totally different. First of all, it's very different between competitive Apex and ranked. I think a lot of people don't understand that there's a difference between those two. So even compositions that work in ranked may not work in comps. So yeah, I think ranked is where you can try different team balances out, but then also in ranked, in comp, you have to make sure all of that is dialed in. So that is why a lot of people go back to the tried and true classic team compositions. But speaking of which, we are in our first game. Thank you, Peep. Sorry to cut you off, but it's going to be me and Andrew now.
Thank you, Peep. Yeah, we're dropping in here. Seeing a cat right on the drop here. Pretty interesting comp here, and we're definitely gonna be looking for any 50-50s, and this is E8 running Catalyst right now.
Yeah, I feel like Catalyst still definitely has her place in comp. I think she still provides a lot, especially since she did get a buff for season 21, so I know a lot of people were really happy about that.
Yeah, looking good. Doesn't seem like they're contested here, just going to loot up, but we might have a contest here with Furia in Cascade Falls here, and it is Keon with a 30-30 and the car. Pretty awesome loadout to land on.
Honestly, not bad. The last time I joined in, I landed on, God, what was this? A scout in Mozambique, and it was awful. I lost that contest immediately. So glad that people's loot seems to be a little bit better here.
Yeah, Madness taking the roof here on Bangalore, and they're running a really aggressive comp for a 50-50 drop. Running the conduit like you mentioned, which is extremely powerful on 50-50, so they must have known this was about to happen. And yeah, it looks like the team they're fighting is backing up a bit, so they're going to loot the center building.
Yeah, we've seemed to have a lot of early game fights here, and unfortunately, this is my team Complexity trying to go up against their team members here, and I think they're actually going to win this contest.
Good. They definitely have the upper hand here, and that's Team MVL eliminated. So really nice drop there out of Complexity, getting some momentum on the drop.
Yeah, it looks like Furia is still trying to hold out Xset here. I mean, they're just going to stay in here forever. They need to make sure that they clean up their fights as soon as possible because they are going to be calling in a lot of other teams into that area.
Interesting. Yeah, that is pretty much the only situation. And Furia looks like they're pushing up here, trying to go ahead and eliminate Xset. They're using Horizon to get height. They have the conduit. I think they have a really good team comp to win this fight, and we're pushing in here with Keon. Absolutely laying waste with the car. Does drop on the other team though. Unfortunate, goes down.
And we do see Conduit's Q has come out, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough for them to finish this fight here. We do see another member go down, and it's going to be no aimbot, please. Try the Conduit trying to come back. This is going to be a rough one.
Pretty unlucky there for Keon. Had the advantage on the 1v1, but really unlucky to drop right into another person there when he dropped down. That's just a risk you're willing to take sometime. And here comes in the Alter coming through the wall here, and it's going to be a 2v1.
Yeah, I'm really glad to see that Alter Q there. And unfortunately, the Furia did get taken out, but it doesn't look like Xset's team is going to do very well here either because there is a third team coming in. Like I said, they waited a little bit too long to finish that fight.
All right, here we go. And this is a good third party. This is one of the women's teams, and they're looking to take advantage of Xset trying to get in there before Xset gets a full reset. But I would imagine at this point, Xset is basically just sitting on armor swaps and now Team ELN is second guessing the situation.
It is a little rough when you're not quite sure where people are, so ELN is probably opting to just play it safe. They were a little late on that third party as well, so at this point, it is kind of late to try and get that fight in, and it does look like we have other people looking at this fight as well. Again, this fight went on for way too long, and now there's additional gunfire happening, so you have to pick your battles here. Do you want to stay? Do you want to just loot and get out? There's a lot of value in looting and getting out at this point.
Yeah, it looks like ELN's going to be stuck in here. I don't know if they saw Dark Zero coming around the backside. They might at this point. And it looked like Exit might be leaving and heading over towards the Spider Cave. So ELN not in a fight against Dark Zero. So it's going to be on even terms as well, as both teams are fully reset and ready to fight.
Yeah, that is not a position I envy, though. That building can be a little bit tough to guard, but they do have a catalyst, which is good. But again, in terms of rotations, you don't want to get stuck there. And it looks like DZ is very aware of them, just trying to get some extra loot. I don't think they're going to engage because they do know that there has been a lot of noise happening here, and it wouldn't be the smartest thing to stay. So it does look like they're looking to rotate out.
Unfortunate caster curse. Furia, the first team going out, and that's the team that I would love to see perform well today. They definitely are probably not super stoked about going out first there. Teams are going to be still rotating over towards Cascade. That's probably the only noise that the map has heard so far, although looks like we have a fight popping off here as well.
Yeah, Complexity not able to leave this location at all either. I mean, it's just a tough location to get out of. Again, it's one of those massive rotation points that teams do like to go through, especially as circles close. But they are in circle, which is why they're going to get a lot of teams coming towards them. So we do see that they were able to get at least one teammate up to level 4 upgrade, and that's going to be extremely valuable.
Yeah, Complexity, they're in a pretty good spot map-wise. The zone is pulling central, so Complexity thinking about leaving Command Center, facing a little opposition, and looks like that fight's not going to really happen. We're going to go back to the Trident and see what's going on here. It looks like most teams have made it pretty much to the center of the map here, and we're going to be looking for some edge fights here. Up north, looks like we might have some teams about to throw down with LG.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of teams actually have ring console knowledge as well, which is why they are actually going over to where Complexity is. They know that the circle is going to end around Command Center, so it does seem like they are bunching around that, which is great. That makes for great Apex plays, but we do see Not Moist kind of lagging there, not getting to the circle or in towards Command Center.
Yeah, I think they landed super far down, maybe south east there, and they kind of knew they were going to be the last ones rolling in, so they decided to take their time, probably hit a couple crafters, hit a couple of the Evo caches, and they're just kind of chilling down there. But it looks like Timmy and DSG going to be pushing up here in zone as well, and yeah, not too much action going on, although they're coming around the backside of wall, and we saw LG was here, so we might see them engage with LG here shortly.
Yeah, hopefully we do. LG is in a really great position right now. Now I do think that DSG did a great job of collecting all of the Evo harvesters and got their shields up to level 4. So this does mean that they are fully leveled in terms of their legend skills. So that could help them out in the fight against LG, who is currently only level 2. But LG does have the better position, but we also see C9 looking down at them as well. So they're going to have to be careful on what fights they do want to take.
Yep, and LG has identified DSG coming into zone. We have a Wraith, was actually a really nice legend to have here. Going to port the whole team in. Going to go ahead and take it back here as LG is quick to jump right on into that portal. And hopefully DSG has enough heals to sit this one out for a second, because LG is definitely not going to let them in easily.
Yeah, and this is a totally good strategy they can take as well. I mean, we do see them have the heals for the circle. They were totally prepared to rotate in and out of this location, so clearly they know what they're doing. But on the other side here, we see Complexity in yet another fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a stinky, gassy situation. And Toxic is going to be a big deterrent here for Complexity, but it does look like Lou does get a knock here, going crazy on Yanya's POV there, and it looks like Complexity going to be able to wipe another team. They're going to be on 6 kills now.
Yeah, they actually took out Not Moist, who we did see kind of lagging in circle rotation, which honestly, that probably did not help them out in this situation at all because Complexity was able to set up in that house. Now, going back to LG, we do see them still trying to hold out DSG, but they are aware of that other team looking down at them.
Yeah, they have to be super careful. They know C9 is ready to jump on this, and DSG is pushing up, so we're about to see a fight here. Casa Gold's coming in, and LG still holding pretty close to the building here. Taking some big damage. Slayer's down, Funk on 1 HP, and DSG look like they're definitely winning this fight. They just need to all be careful about C9 at this point.
Yeah, they are looking for this chase here, and that is LG out of the game in 17th place. Unfortunately, the level 3 upgrade definitely does help a lot, having that extra skills on your legends as well. So it is something that is incredibly important for you to grab. But also C9 here, obviously hearing the fight, knowing that it finished, they don't want to jump in just yet, but they are keeping an eye on LG there. And switching over, here's Oxygen.
Yeah, Oxygen in a fight here, and they're definitely going in here. It's going to be a 2v2, I think, here. Aiden getting a knock, Panders, and they're going to try to reset in the building here. I'm not sure who was pulling up on them. Might be looking for a reset, but they did get scanned, so maybe going to... Yeah, it's a full team in that building. This nade's going to have to be big here. Panders and Aiden in a pretty rough spot now.
Yeah, that was a pretty good nade here. And the Prowler comes out doing all this work, getting 2 knocks before he goes down himself. And Panders, of course, does clean up. And it was Hate that was actually eliminated.
Really nice. That was a 2v3. Big nades coming in. And Aiden Panders, I wouldn't put it past them to 2v3, especially in a building like that. Well played out of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we do see Xset rotating around. They do have 2 kills on their belt as well, at least with one of their teammates. So hopefully they get some more rotating in. We do see Complexity holding that building strong there. And SSG actually up towards Command Center, holding the point that Complexity had before.
Looking good here. SSG, they're probably happy to kind of hang out on the edge here. They're listening for any type of fighting going on. Taking some shots here. Trying to get that blue shield up to purple. And I'm just waiting for the next zone pull, see what's going on here. And it looks like the C9 DSG fight might happen here shortly as the zone is closing slightly, pushing DSG closer to C9. And they're just kind of setting up a trap here. And they're all just going to lay low for a bit.
Yeah, C9 knows all they have to do is just hold that point and make sure they do watch all different rotation areas as well. We do see the Wraith portaling her team out into different position as well. But hopefully they don't need to use it. I mean, they do have quite a bit of time, and we don't see C9 really holding this high ground here.
Yeah, they're going to be able to walk up. I think there was a team at the building up there. Yeah, definitely a lot of teams up in this direction. This is kind of where DSG is heading into. So these teams are about to walk into each other. This is bricked, and DSG is going to be on the other side of this building right now, so this could be a sticky situation for both teams.
Yeah, we know that if they get into a fight, we are going to see C9 rotate around and try to get into the action as well. DSG making some noise, trying to get rid of the catalyst cues here. But, ooh, DSG does get the high ground, and they're trying to keep Bricked from rotating out.
Yeah, great catwall. Gonna go ahead and reset the whole fight. They just need to be careful. Brick needs to be careful they don't slide down into another team, because there's a lot of teams around here. Looks like Brick is gonna hold still, so DSG gonna be pushing into a fight. Huge shots coming out of Designful. The Turbo Havoc just absolutely laying waste. Brick put into the dirt.
And again, the fight was over too quickly for C9 to really capitalize off that. And they were a little bit separated, so they are opting to go backwards. But we do see Designful pulling out the balloon to try and rotate a little bit faster over this cliff.
Great fight. DSG's looking solid right now, taking out LG and eliminating Brick within seconds there. They're going to go ahead and do a rotate here. They're probably a little blind here. There definitely was a team here. They're going to be landing right on them, pulling the E-brake here, trying to hit the 180. And this is going to be quite awkward, and we are getting fully sent here. Designful, though, not the person you want to drop on here, especially with the Turbo Havoc. DSG vaporized.
Yeah, oh my goodness. It was a good thing that DZ did end up staying mostly on top, because I don't know who it was that sent it on the bottom. They did get punished for it, but luckily DZ did work together to stay on the high ground, and they did end up eliminating DSG. Complexity fighting another team here, trying to enter into their house. which just sits on the corner of the circle. So of course we're going to see teammates. We do see other teams coming towards this location.
Yeah, Complexity, really strong showing recently in LAN. The vibes are always at maximum with this team. Lou with the wingman, SSG on the roof. Not the team in this lobby that you want to have on your roof here. These guys probably maybe looking for an opening. It's tough to hold inside these buildings. You can drop down. There's windows all over the place that are will be easy for SSG to potentially drop and get a pick on. Look, he might drop to that window right there. He's kind of pinging, and it'll be interesting to see here. I think SSG might have the advantage here on the outside. I hate being on the inside of this building.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting building to breach. Ooh, we do see a good Horizon ult coming out there. They are lobbing as many nades as they can, but I'm not quite sure they're going to be able to capitalize off this. They're not able to find any good angles to go off of their fights. Ooh, but they do start going in. Oh, good, and they do take someone down. SSG looking pretty strong in this fight here. Are they going to be able to take down Complexity? Ooh, I don't know. It's a pretty even fight.
1v1 here. It's going to be Zainu on the Havoc. Not a player I'd want to 1v1 against, that's for sure. And 1v1 person outside is going to hold some knockdown shields. Going to maybe bait a res. Both teams are resetting now, so this could be pretty wild.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good time to exchange reses. We do see that Complexity is looking much healthier and stronger than SSG here. Unfortunately, SSG is only going to be able to get one member up, so they are going to be outnumbered regardless. So it does look like they are opting to retreat at this point.
Yeah, good call from them. Definitely don't want to take a 2v3, although they're going roof, so they might be sticking around here. Monsoon definitely can't get picked here. If they can just stay healthy, I think they're going to win the fight. And Lou immediately goes down, fighting off a bit more than he could chew up there with the 1v2. And now it's going to be back to 2v2. Worst case scenario for Complexity is they had a big advantage there for a moment.
Yeah, I think Complexity's strongest point is to play inside of this building since they do have a catalyst. But unfortunately, they do all have to rotate since the circle is closing. And at round 4, it is going to hurt.
All right, we're pushing in here. Monsoon with the Hemlock, switching over to the PK. Close range, has to get real close with this PK to actually perform. And it looks like SSG has slid way down the hill at this point. So both teams just going to go ahead and run off as a duo. Neither team really getting much of an advantage there, and you can see Monsoon in the distance going down as well as Kimchi down to 20 HP. A lot of teams are already in Cascade Falls, so I would say neither team did a service for themselves there with those fights.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things where at this point you kind of decide whether or not you want to actually spend a lot of time fighting in the circle. It looks like we did see a team go down here. SSG Xenu is still alive. Yeah, Complexity did end up getting taken out there in 10th place due to the ring closure.
Unlucky. Love seeing Complexity do well, but it's going to be GG up here holding the height and shooting at the duo of SSG over there. They need to play small. They definitely don't want the GG boys coming over in that direction. And looking pretty sturdy up here. They're triple purples, plenty of, well, 32 bullets in the Hemlock. It's not quite ideal. And if they can identify this as a duo, they might be pushing that. They have a Bloodhound. They could scan that, but it does look like there are some fights going on down below as well.
Ooh, unfortunate C9 was eliminated, but they made pretty good placement for the first game. That was 7th place. They did get a little bit late on the rotation there, which I think may have been the reason why they did get taken out there. And we do see Knocked with the beefed up Devotion, the care package weapon for this season. I have actually not been able to see this weapon in play yet, so I'm very excited to see how exactly how strong this weapon is, because I hear it absolutely shreds now. Yeah,
in theory, the Devo has always been insanely, potentially powerful, but for some reason, it's either the recoil or something has always been off with it. With the new version, it is quite powerful. The hipfire, instead of getting worse, gets better as you shoot it.
Yep.
And I think the projectile size is larger. The mag's a little bigger, and it is incredibly strong right now.
Yeah, it's so disgusting, but that's not going to help them in a fight if they can't see their opponents. And we do see our first rat of the game. We see Cereza trying to survive out here by themselves, trying to make sure that they can actually secure decent placement for game number 1. They do only have 93 damage, so I have a feeling it's been kind of an unfortunate match for them.
Fantastic ratting, and they have joined a team actually right now, a team of 4. Whoever scanned them is probably very confused. There's a team of 4 walking up the hill. Cereza trying to stay low. Good use of the smoke here. And the team in front of them is taking the brunt of... Oh, and they actually got a kill there. That was Cereza taking out somebody. So not only surviving, but getting a kill there. I think Dark Zero will clean up that solo there as they're walking towards him right now.
And unfortunately, that was ELM that did get eliminated in 5th. But we do see Flat, actually GG in the best position here right now. But they are going to have to drop down for endgame. They decided to go ahead early. I think they're feeling pretty strong. Only 2 other squads left. If they are able to clean up, they can take game number 1.
Yeah, Flat's looking really dominant right now. They're pushing down towards Dark Zero. Looks like, yeah, they're looking really strong here, and they do get the win there. That happened pretty rapidly. Great play out of GG there, holding the height, dropping down, and getting the win in game number 1.
Yeah, that was so easy. We didn't even get to commentate it. I mean, it literally just happened. We did see Team Vina get taken out by the second place team there, unfortunately. But GG did a great job. They knew exactly where to stay for positioning. They saw a lot of fights happening, and it's kind of one of those things where you have to either give up a really good position and potentially get KP to outmatch that, but they chose to go for the placement points instead, which was a great call.
Yeah, I'd like to see that out of GG. Looking forward to, like I said, Furia getting not last place in this next game, and big congrats to GG. Well played.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get Pete back so we can go ahead and run through game number 1 and what worked and what didn't work, and hopefully get game number 2 ready for you.
We are back. That was game 1 of the last qualifier for the $25,000 for those who dare Apex tournament. I mean, guys, well, number 1, welcome in, Juka. How we doing?
Hi, I'm great. I'm happy to be here.
Love that. Love that. All right, so you guys watched that game. What are your thoughts?
You know what? I was commentating it, so I'm going to let Juka take this because I know that she was actively correcting Andrew the entire time we were sitting there, which was so funny. So I'm going to let you talk first.
I didn't think you could hear me. I wanted so badly to say Fury didn't get last, Andrew. It was 19th. Please, don't put that on them. It was 19th. But we did have a lot of early contests, which was really fun to watch. It kept it super interesting. A couple of the early contests were just quick wipes. There really wasn't much going on. Didn't even really get close. They were just a 3v3 wipe. A couple of the fights that got close was the one you're watching right here. OXG, the Prowler hipfire was hitting, but we did lose Aiden, and Panders thankfully did clutch up. DSG called a couple people out as rotations on later zones, round 3 and 4, seemed to just have everyone, I don't know if they misread zone or if they were wanted to play edge, but people seemed to think it was going to pull more towards Cascade, and it did pull away from it. So that was a really fun game. Great job, GG, champions of game 1.
Yeah, insane game by GG. Believe it or not, Louis and Nano are actually brothers, and they're playing together on a team. Just recently signed to Gaming Gladiator, so I'm excited to see these guys flourish in comp. But we're looking at our leaderboards here, really, really top heavy with the first 2 teams. And then Stella, you're looking at the rest of this leaderboard here. Talk to us.
Yeah, so obviously GG, we did see them holding on to their position, which I think that if they actually did send into fights during that last skirmish, they totally could have upped their points. But we do see that they wanted to go with the safe option. They ended up with 22 points overall, which is great. DZ did go in for the extra KP, which is why they're not that far behind with 17 points. Now, Vina and Complexity, we did see that they were holding out their own in different parts of the map. They were obviously holding out other teams from rotating in. So they did end up getting a lot of decent KP, some good placement points as well, but not quite enough to put them exactly into the are, yeah, the double digits yet, but it is only game number 1. So, you know, they have a lot of time to make up for it.
Yeah, a lot of time. I mean, Juka, you're looking at the leaderboards here. Other than LG and Furia, right, which were 2 teams that me and Drew said we wanted to do well. Is there a team that's standing out to you, whether, you know, surprising you well or surprisingly bad from game
I know
one?
we didn't. Yes, Vina, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of them for, you know, just showing up and really surviving. Sometimes the best thing you can do is lay as low as possible. Sometimes you play big, sometimes you play small. And they did a really good job of getting to where they needed to go and just kind of playing small there late game to get that percentage or to get that top 3 spot. So again, I think top 10 is all that matters today. So top 10 is really what's needed to move forward to the finals on the 21st.
Absolutely. And finals is where the $25,000 are at. So, you know, top 10 doesn't matter how you get there, whether you're ratting or whether you're playing patiently like GG did at the top of the waterfall there. But before we go any further, we have a giveaway here on the SOAR Twitch channel. All right. We have an ROG Ricari Pro controller. It's got selectable step triggers, you know, wireless, wired, or Bluetooth. And for anybody that wants to win this controller, you have to go to the SOAR Twitch channel and write the word legend in chat, and you're automatically entered to win one of these. We have a lot more prizes, coming up as well, but we're going to start off with a controller, and it is a good one. So now that we've seen some of the recaps, we've seen some of the leaderboards, Juka, Stella, Game 2 predictions and expectations. What do we got?
Well, we are staying on Storm Point, so I think we're going to see a lot of the teams kind of make the same rotations. I think it just depends on where the circle pulls, right? I'm not sure, but I think, listen, complexity is looking really good. A lot of the teams are actually prioritizing rotations before fights, which is great. So I think we're going to see a lot of people figuring out where exactly the ring's going to go. We're going to see a lot of fights as people move towards that. But I don't think people are going to be contesting against each other on purpose.
Yeah.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to agree and say I think Fury is going to win this 50-50. I think they're going to try it again. I think they're going to tweak a couple things, and I'm sticking true to it. And if Fury can't win it, I'm going for Bricked. Bricked is a team that's been in women's comp for a long time. I love all 3 of those ladies. I've watched them compete for years. I'm happy to see them in here in tonight's tournament, and I'm expecting a big game out of them.
Yeah, I would love to see, like I said at the beginning, a women's comp team at a top 3 spot here. Even, winning would be absolutely insane. And then, seeing what they do at the finals. I want to give a huge shout out to OXG for that 2v3. Insane plays by them. A beautiful bangle, great grenades, and that Prowler was just singing. But another shout out goes to Lou from Complexity. He managed to kill 2 of the guys playing behind a knockdown and just absolutely was swinging it. Was there a specific play from game number 1 that, Stella, you really liked?
Nothing really popped out at me. I mean, we didn't see any Kravers, and I didn't get to really see the devotion in action, right? So
yeah. Give
me some juicy Kraber shots, all right? Like, let us be at the Apex God's disposal for getting like 2 Kravers in a game. I want that this game. That's what I want, actually. You know what? That's what I want. Above any other team winning, I just want that.
Would be phenomenal. Well, I mean, Juka, have you by chance gotten a chance to play with the Devo?
I have, and I will say Devo has been my least favorite gun in Apex for 20 seasons. I love it now. It's the first time I think it's worth picking up. I absolutely love it. It feels great. The hip fire on it's so good. I don't feel vulnerable with hip firing it, and I can just let that mag sing. I love the Devo. Big fan.
Well, game number 2 is starting. Ladies, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Peep. I am really excited to see more drop weapons in effect. I think a lot of people have rotated away from areas that had the drop weapons, unfortunately. So I think we're going to see a little bit more as people are getting more confident in how they play, because now they're used to how these teams are going to be rotating. We know how they now know how these teams are going to be playing in fights. We do see Exit immediately in a contest. So I don't know, Juka. It's all up in the air right now.
Okay, and this is a great aggressive play that we're seeing out of Nocturnal, using the Alter Tactical to quickly grab high ground, but going to drop right back down. It looks like they do have Furia. Keon already knocked. Getting him knocked early is not ideal. We really need Keon to shine in these fights, so we're looking at a 3v2 as they do get the thirst on him.
Yeah, Exit doing a really good job of playing kind of defensively here. We do see that they have an Alter, which is great for entering different areas, and we do see Madness go down as well. And ooh, not quite able to get the kill here, but Rep does end up getting the last part, and they do end up getting reset. So this is great. This is the first time that they've been able to really just hold down this ground, not get chased out, and I'm really glad for them.
All right, let's take a look at a little bit over the way. We are seeing Complexity as they're trying to grab some high ground and look down at the building below them. The RE45, double RE45, that is a bold choice here, and I'm sure not a choice. It's just kind of scraps that they had to stick with here at this point. But we got to get a little bit closer to make these guns work.
Honestly, the RE45 is one of my favorite weapons, and I will play it over the alternator because I think it just is the best no recoil weapon. So it could work out here. We do see that he has one blue attachment for the laser sight, but he's ADSing, so it doesn't really matter. And it looks like Complexity really wants this fight.
Yeah, they do. They did end up getting one of the players down and the immediate thirst, and I'm sure the other two are already on their way. And there we go. We've got something with a little bit of range to it. And you can see the aerial view of how they do have the other ladies on this team kind of scrambling, running for their lives. And Complexity is not done. They are hunting them down, and that is Lou with the Sentinel, hitting shots with the iron sight. No sights, no problem. It doesn't matter. Miss Adele going down.
It is just unfortunate that it was Lou they had to run into, who can hit any shots with no sights, of course. Lou is just one of those players that knows the game so well that he already... I bet you he has like tape on his monitor knowing where exactly to aim, right? No matter the distance. So it is just unfortunate. He's such a skilled player. So it is great that they are getting practice against him, but unfortunately, he is going to get it down on Jen here and secure that kill.
Yes. Yeah. No, that was too clean. Good shots out of Lou. You got to respect the shots as we're seeing them. Keeping with the Sentinel R9 combo. That's a good gun choice for him. You can see that it looks like that they still are on the actually, they're on the offense at this point. I know that they were getting pushed by another team, but I don't think for Complexity it matters. They're ready. Lou just needs to hit a med kit and he will be on his way. Kimchi holding the high ground, trying to cover some area, and I'm not sure if we're going to get any connects with that. Missile swarm does not look like it. Meanwhile, it looks like C9 is actually taking a little bit of action, but we're kind of invested in this fight right now, so let's see if we can get the thirst, and they do.
That is unfortunate. Oh, yeah, we do see C9 here kind of on top of this hill, on the cove, and they are just absolutely shredding. We do see them having to drop here. It is going to be an interesting fight because this is in circle, so they are going to be seeing a lot of people come in, so they need to be able to secure their area, especially with that classic Caustic, Bangalore, and Bloodhound build.
And it looks like Dark Zero, as you had mentioned, they do already have one. They're down a player. They're on low ground. This is kind of a tough area for them to push, especially with Nox still on a white shield here.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. They don't actually have a support legend as well, so if they want to get their third in, they are going to have to go for that banner. Meanwhile, on the other side, we do see LG here trying to pursue someone. They are trying to get... Ooh, yeah, they did get it down on January, but they weren't able to secure that quite yet. And we do see that team... I believe it's Brown was actually taken down as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And it looks like I just saw Nox go down in the kill feed, so that fight is still going on. I can't believe all of the early action that we're getting. If we could please ask the players to space out their fights, that would be ideal. But everyone seems to want to fight at the same exact time.
It's so funny because I said that I didn't think people were going to be fighting too early, but now we're already at 16 squads left, which is kind of wild considering this lobby. But we do see a lot of people getting into circle. So I think there is just a lot of push because everyone wants to get into Cenote because they know that's where it's going to end. So we do see a lot of teams just beelining it there. And I think players actually learned quite a bit from LAN, and they are actually positioning themselves in the end circle as fast as possible, which is great.
And something neat to think about is how different people might play when it's a situation of a qualifier. You really just need a top 10. So this is where you can make risks. You can make risks. You can kind of go for big games where it's not a first place takes all kind of situation. It's a to get top 10. So you can go for these big games and try to get some high kills and maybe not play exactly as you would if this were the $25,000 finals. All right, we do have Not Moist inside these buildings. I still find these buildings a little bit confusing and am not afraid to admit that I get turned around in them a little bit when I'm fighting. But yeah, Not Moist down 2 players. Guild has to do something amazing, and he does as he takes out the last player. But wait, there's more. Prowler hipfire, not gonna be enough.
Yeah, but I do
go down.
I think we have a 4th party coming in. Oxygen isn't going to be able to hold this just themselves. It's now a 1v3. And, ooh, Nano is not looking good. Nano goes down here, but it's still a 2v1. So GG has a great chance of taking them down, and I don't think they're going to pursue quite yet.
All right, they're going to try to clean up the bodies that are on their hands and the knees, and they're already getting the res. That was so fast. And this is the team that won the first game, so they're sitting pretty with points. Let's take a look in the tunnel as we have, it looks like DSG trying to walk through Conduit ult.
Oh, it looks like Oxygen was taken out as well in the kill feed too, so that is unfortunate. Now it's only 12 squads left, and round 1 just finished closing.
I know y'all were talking about the difference between pubs and ranked, but this game is certainly not playing like a competitive game. This one might even be playing a little bit more like a pub, is what I'm seeing with these early fights, especially with an end zone that is pulling to an area that has so many buildings where we can see so many teams alive late game. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the killing stops for a bit, but these wingman shots are just too good, getting the crack midair. I'm not surprised to see that out of Timmy.
Yeah, and STN was out, I believe, in 15th place. Oh, I'm sorry, and 12th place as well. Now 11 squads left as the circle is starting to close. This is going to take out a huge chunks. We're going to be seeing a lot of these teams rotate into each other. Complexity is actually holding quite a bit of ground here. I think they are opting to try and hold out QTO and SSG as well. They're just trying to hold the edge of circle and make sure they can punish the other teams who are late for rotating, and DSG is pretty behind.
I was looking at the map and I saw C9. I was like, oh, those guys are playing pretty split. And then I saw over when you mentioned complexity, and that's just taking split to a whole new level. And yeah, as long as they're all, checking what area they need to, they could potentially get a couple of kills. It looks like SSG was rotating right by them. Dark Zero having a rough game, though. As a duo, Banner timed out, knocked with a white shield. Not what you want in Zone 2, 30 seconds away from closing.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. It is possible to win, but since they are behind on XP, it is going to be a little bit difficult, especially with round 2 already closed. And we do see Hate moving up towards where the duo is, and I think they're going to full send it here, knowing that it's just 2 players, but Lazur, also on white shields, has to back out already.
All right, now this is a good fight they could take, and it's rare to see Lifeline in here, but Lifeline, as long as they stay with the team and don't go down first, this could be a good comp and a good fight for them, even though some of the players still are on white shields, as they take high ground and get the crack.
Unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to be able to follow up on this, because they are actively being looked at by other teams, and they're getting a little bit too far from their prey, unfortunately. So this might be a situation where they do have to pull back a little bit, but they are trying to get as much damage down as possible.
It looks, oh no, okay, I was just saying, I wasn't sure if they were going to chase the last person on Dark Zero there, but we call that tunnel vision sometimes, and sometimes it backfires. It's been known to backfire more than it helps, but taking a look over at C9, C9 was the other team that was on the west side of the circle, as they were holding a good split and could have a couple of teams rotate into them. Oh, yeah, Zero, how are you doing, buddy?
Zero is not doing well, taking a lot of health damage, just trying to get back into the circle. And we do know that teams are looking right at him when he decides to come back in. But right now we see SSG in one of the buildings, and they're going to be staying inside the circle quite a bit after the next ring closes as well. GG in one of the other buildings as well. We are seeing a lot of teams finding where they're going to be for the remainder of the match and punishing those who don't have a position inside the areas.
Yeah, there's a ton of playable areas here. A lot of these buildings can be double occupied, sometimes even occupied by 3 different teams, with the ground floor, the roof, and even the interior of them. We could see a lot of teams alive late game. It's just if we didn't have all of the destruction early game. I mean, this is an end zone where I have seen before 15 teams alive round 4.
And Brick's composition is interesting. Bangalore, Bloodhound, and Catalyst. Now, this can work really well, but they are going to have to play to their strengths and probably stay bunkered for quite a bit until the last circle where they do have to go out into the open. SSG now down to just Phony. He is trying to get out of this area, but he might take too much circle damage. He does have to come back, and he's not in quite a safe location. But if he can get this res off, he might be okay.
He's hiding behind Koifel's knockdown shield right now, which, well, he just left Koifel. He said, no, I'm not even going to at this point. I think sometimes when your teammate's down, you're like, don't come to me. I'm hiding here. Let me hide alone. Throwing the Horizon tactical, trying to get Koi to a more safe area, but at this point, he's already going to be in a box. Grabbing the banner, rotating around. This is going to be tough for him.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate situation. The Bloodhound is just so strong in these lobbies. And we do see the devotion being used here by Timmy, which is going to be just absolutely devastating. But unfortunately, he is not able to quite hit these shots from a distance, so they are going to inch towards the circle. They're just holding out this last team here. But they are looking pretty far from the circle. They are going to have to hoof it as soon as they take out this fight. But
yeah, Designful almost getting knocked. Needs to be careful there. No Bangalore on the team, no smokes, no cover, but looks like he got a shield bat off, was able to reset. They'll probably be able to get those kills, as I do see Nocturnal did end up going down to the ring. Designful goes down though. Ooh. Sweet, getting the knock and the thirst on him.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. LG did end up sneaking up towards them while DSG was not paying attention, and they were able to sneak up on them. Now they're being held out. DSG was trying to hold out the other team, and now they're the ones who are getting punished for not being in circle early. So we're going to have to see if LG can take out all of DSG and the other team that is still out of the circle.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just a duo that's out of the circle, but it looks like they could have potentially two fragmented teams in front of them, so that could be good for them as long as there's not a team behind them trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, we do see C9 is one of the teams looking to circle in, but they are out. They are very aware that LG is there and actively holding out other teams. Now, Complexity, again, being in a pretty good position. They are in circle, but they do want to get further inside, but all of the buildings are occupied, so it's going to be a bit of a battle getting in and finding your position.
I'm so happy Monsoon is rocking a sniper. I think snipers are so fun to watch in Apex and unfortunately not used as much. I feel the same way about shotguns. Snipers and shotguns, I love watching the pros use them. It's just, I feel like it makes for some of the most exciting gameplay. But a lot of these late game fights, they just are not useful weapons. LG has made their way into zone, and it looks like they do have a couple of kills on the board already, and they are just hard looking to the side, knowing a team's gonna have to rotate into them. And here we go, Nocturnal healing up, and they are safe, but they just really don't have much playable area. They're very susceptible to grenades or any other ordinances that could be thrown their way.
And they do have an Ultra, so they could potentially play through rocks, but it is a very risky play, especially this late into the rotations. But we do see Dynasty, they're in a fight right now. LG also looking to fully send on the edge of circle. They are going to be held out now at this point too.
Yep, so Dark Zero was eliminated as we saw. Timmy's going down here. LG looking good as we still are in the Beast of the Hunt. We've got some more time to spare with it. And I do see an alter ability, a hole in the rock. It's still interesting to see how she's being played. And we're going here, and these shots are just too good as Xset gets eliminated by the hands of LG.
Unfortunate, they were not able to rotate into position. They did get caught out, but hopefully LG will not be held out, because now they're going to be going into the zone where all of the teams in the lobby are residing. Now we do get to see where all the teams are. Look at LG super far out. They are going to have to face almost 4 different teams as soon as they rotate in, because there's just no space for everyone to exist. We're going to be seeing a ton of teams go down as this final circle, as the circle closes.
Yeah, I'm surprised the one building is still available. It looks like Complexity is going to be taking it right now. And they just did. I was surprised to see that building still open, and that's going to be a really good call for them. And that could be the play that they needed to possibly catch a dub this game. That building being open was huge for them.
Yeah, they've been doing a really good job of playing positioning, and we do see Lou fully leveled here now, which is going to be immense for the fight. They are a little bit behind on XP for the other 2 teammates, but honestly, as long as they have the skills, they're fine. LG finding teammates. Gwyn, who is out out of a building and just out in the open currently. They are trying to find some extra securance here, but SSG was eliminated in 8th place.
Yep, so that was just a solo on SSG. So, I mean, they did a good job getting the placement points they could, given the roster that they had left in the game. But going over to C9's point of view, as they are going to try to go around this rock before road zone closes. And that is going to be another knock. It looks like some of our women's teams are also fighting.
Yeah, it's C9 versus LG. It is hell versus sweet. And this is going to be something that a lot of people are going to be wanting to see. But here, we do see that the circle starts to hurt. So they are going to have to either fully commit or back up and find their position within the circle, because it's going to be a really rough fight. Everyone is going to be looking in your direction.
I don't like this fight. I feel like one team is just going to get sent, and you have no control over if it's you're going to get sent on one side or the other, just fighting in that sliver of zone. I think this is a good call for C9 to just take a little space and back up, because that's a 50-50 of which side or who gets sent and who gets thirded in the back.
Yeah, and I do believe we have one of the women teams here still alive, and I believe that is Brick still alive here. And yeah, we do see GG in a good position here. They are trying to take up as much space as possible inside this building, but there's a lot of time. And with 30 seconds, we're going to be seeing a lot of teams fighting here as they try to move in.
Yep. Complexity over on the edge, just trying to scrap a little bit of loot as Hate is eliminated. C9 seem to pick off most of those kills. Complexity walking up. They're still not safe. They have a couple of seconds before they need to make some moves into this next zone.
Yeah, C9 is still way out in the water, but they are just trying to make a play for when the teams are a little bit distracted. LG at full reds, fully leveled here. So you know that they're feeling pretty confident going into this. Oh, but they got hit by the trident and they couldn't quite get up in time. Unfortunate for them.
I love when the Trident does that. I've seen Sweet make some interesting plays involving with a Horizon and a Trident late game. In fact, I think I've seen him sit up in one before when he was a rat on a team a couple years ago in an endgame tournament. But Sweet finally healing up, hitting this much needed medkit, and they are on ultimate high ground, but they're getting shot by two teams, one in front of them and just getting destroyed by the team that's over to their east. That's gonna be C9, I think, taking those shots.
Now it's up to C9 to try and get into circle here. They don't have a lot of cover. Yes, they have a bit of high ground, but they could easily just be naded off of that or Bangalore ulted. Ooh, they do get the secure on Slayer, and LG is just out. Unfortunate. They just weren't able to rotate in fast enough to be able to secure that high ground.
Yep, yeah, C9 just in a great job where they are just the ones in complete control. You can see you have two players on the left side of your screen that are just kind of, we call it mountain goating it. They're up there on the rock on the side where they're just chilling, and they seem to just, you know, they can pop up and shoot down at all of these other teams that are fighting for this endgame space and then just crouch and be completely out of the fight. Complexity fighting for their lives on low ground. Holding angles here, trying to avoid C9's point of view.
Yeah, they seem very aware of where the last three teams are located, but they're just not able to get good enough peaks to try and use their sentinels here. But GG on lower ground, surprisingly. They are looking to move in because they are going to be one of the first teams to have to move in as the final ring closes.
Yep. Yeah, they do have the furthest to go. They do have a sliver of building that's in, but they're going to have to walk by the building that Bricked is currently in. And here we go. They're taking space behind them. Might poke into the windows some, but I don't think C9's going to let them look for free.
Ooh, why would they climb through the window? No, they are taking some unnecessary damage. They do have to back off and re-heal, but you know what? They did move up a little bit, so all they have to do is make sure that the team above them goes down before they do. But we do see C9 with some pretty good angles here. They are going to have to push in pretty soon, but they are going to try and take advantage of the small little angle they have for now.
All right, now C9 and Complexity are most likely going to be having a full shootout here, as they're going to be two of the teams that have the furthest to rotate and kind of have to rotate into each other. But it looks like C9 might actually push in towards GG.
And I think we're going to be seeing these teams get smushed together. Now, this final ring does close slowly, but ooh, we do see that one of C9's members goes down. And of course, seeing that, Complexity's team is going to full send it. Not able to quite connect any shots here, not able to finish out on these kills, so they might have to play it safe here.
This could be good for the other two teams, and Bricked that should still just be chilling in their building, and that is going to be C9 going through it. One player left on the team, and that they're out of here as Lou takes 7 kills. He's been fighting all game.
Yeah, and even though they might get eliminated here in third place, they did secure KP, which is probably going to give them some great points here. We are seeing Lou get finished here, but it's still going to be a two-man team here. GG, right, again, in the best position for endgame.
I think Bricked has left the building and GG's still on ultimate high ground. They can kind of just shoot down at whatever they need, and that's Jace. She goes down. Oh, huge bang bombs. The bang bombs almost completely wiped them. So Bricked in third place, Complexity, and GG. Sorry, that's actually GG winning again. They are a force to be reckoned with. They cannot be stopped tonight.
Yeah, they are just so good at finding the best positioning for endgame and just sticking it out there. I genuinely feel like it is so hard to contest them because they have a caustic that is very good at setting up specific areas and being able to bunker down. Also, they have a Bangalore who is able to make sure no one approaches them with their rolling thunders. So really good job by GG.
Another thing I want to take note of is Bricked. That was the team that I called for. I wanted them to play well, and those ladies really did pop off. So great job getting the top finish in that game also.
Yeah, now I believe when we come back, we are going to have the first giveaway winner ready for you, but we're going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody. That was game 2 of the $25,000 For Those Who Dare tournament. Before we pick our winner, I want to give a huge shout out to Intel Gaming and ASUS ROG for sponsoring the tournament. Without them, we don't have a $25,000 tournament that our competitors are able to play for, and we don't have this amazing content. So for anybody that's looking for new gear for their setups, exclamation mark sponsors in chat, check them out. But we do have our first giveaway winner for the ROG Rikeri Pro Controller, and it is, give me 1 second, we have Lavender Haziz. So Lavender Haziz, you are in chat. You got to celebrate. You got to get loud. You just won a free ASUS ROG controller, so make sure to thank them. But guys, what an insane game. Gaming Gladiators, again, with their second win in a row. Stella, talk to me.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not surprised that they were able to take the second win. They're just really good at positioning themselves towards the end game. And I mean, we know how Cenote Cave can get, how chaotic it can get, and they're just really able to control it. And honestly, they're just like traffic organizers. They're able to funnel other teams into each other. And we literally saw them pushing the last two teams in that fight to make sure that they looked at themselves instead of GG. So I don't know, man, they're playing chess.
They're absolutely taking it to the next level. I mean, Drew, you're looking at some of these clips here. Take us through it.
Yeah, I mean, watching that game from an outsider, one word I was thinking about the whole time was awkward. I think game 1 played a little more straightforward, and that game, to me, I feel like half the teams were just running it down like it was either pubs or ranked, and the other half were kind of playing by the book there. You could see like zone 3, C9 was already set up in a spot near Mill. They were kind of trying to gatekeep. But like I said, awkward was the word. There was only 11 teams left on the map, so they're sitting there like, well, this is kind of silly. There's really no one here anymore. So there was a huge lull mid-game where all the teams finally had to group back up in Cenote and finally finish it up. But yeah, GG has been playing the best so far. They've been going for that God spot, which they've gotten 2 games in a row now as they just sit on top on height watching all the other teams fight, and they just basically get the win for free. So well played by them, and yeah, hopefully these guys figure it out for game number 3, because that second game was pretty awkward.
You know, people were absolutely running it down, but we're looking at the leaderboards here, Stella. Talk to me what you see in the top 10 and in the bottom 10.
Honestly, there's a lot that can happen in the next 4 games, right? Like, we do see, obviously, number 1 spot, Gaming Gladiators, there's almost a 20-point lead from second place. But again, from second to even, 6th place, that can all change within the course of the next games. And then from 5 to 10, that can also all change. If you look there's down to 14th place. Everything is really close in points. We are just going to have to see some teams play a little bit more conservatively or be a little bit more aggressive in their contests. We are going to have to see a lot of teams opt to take more fights or try and get better positioning, which I don't think is working for them. So they may have to go for more KP here. But again, it's all up in the air. We've got one more game on Stormpoint, then we're switching over to World's Edge, which a lot of these players are more comfortable on. So I think we are going to see more aggressive plays once we switch over to World's Edge.
Yep. And speaking of the leaderboards, Drew, you mentioned this in the beginning. We wanted to see the women Apex comp teams do well.
Yeah.
And we have 2 of the women teams in the top 10 right now, and all you need is a top 10 to make it to finals. Do you think we'll be seeing our first women's comp team in the finals lobby for the $25,000?
Yeah, for sure, especially since some of these other teams got off to a really slow start. I feel like if these women's teams that are up there right now, if they just play straight up, play for zone, try to just be consistent overall, I definitely think we'll be seeing some in the top 10, as we have some of the other teams playing a little sloppy right now, with basically no points for some of the big teams on the bottom 5 there.
Yep. And speaking of big teams with no points, Drew, I have to bring it up. Furia, what is going on with them?
They're contesting on drop, which is always risky. It's a basic coin flip because these teams are all so equally matched. So they've just gotten on the wrong side of the coin flip twice there. And that's a tough one. 50-50 drops in these formats, but there's only 6 games. You need consistency. 50-50 drops are a shot in the foot if you're not winning them.
Oh, absolutely. We're playing a game where it's a lot of RNG, right? What weapons are you going to land on? What angles are they going to take? What's their comp? I've noticed that X set or EX set, excuse me. And I love that play on words there by them. They're playing a little bit of Alter. We talked about it in the beginning of the games here that we wanted to see some of the Alter plays. Now, we got a little bit of the taste of what Alter can do. Stella, are you feeling Alter right now, or are you not?
Like I said, I think Alter works best on maps that play more on verticality. I thought that she could work on Stormpoint, but again, in this lobby, things just move a little bit too fast for you to be able to utilize Alter to her full potential. We did see Exit use her pretty well in being able to get around into some fights and finish off the last few kills, but I think she'll work a little bit better on World's Edge, where in really tough fights you'll be able to go out of buildings into several buildings over, or even go down from like say big mod, you want to get from the bottom to the top quickly and you have her Nexus up there. I think that's where she's really going to shine in vertical plays. But Stormpoint's just moving so fast that I don't think Alter's really able to keep up with what each team needs.
No, I fully agree. You said buildings, right? And I instantly thought about a Skyhook ending or a Stacks ending, where you have those buildings with the 4 stories, they got the zip lines. And sometimes you just, you can't seem to get an opening because Cossack barrels or, Watson fences or whatever it may be, they're holding the angles. So I think it's really going to open up the battlefield a lot for some of the one team that is playing Alter. But Drew, your thoughts on Alter right now after we've, been able to see a little bit of it in a comp game?
I would love for it to work out and play out the way you said it, where it's like this beautiful thing where they're coming in, they're avoiding the gas traps and all this. But honestly, I'm imagining them coming in from the roof. They all land right on a gas trap, and Coifel sitting there with his Havoc just mowing you down. So I don't really see how Alter is going to work in a lobby like this. I think it's cute and pubs are ranked, and you can kind of get away with some stuff that you normally can't in this lobby, but I don't see it happening.
Absolutely. Well, game 3 is starting right now. Casters, take us away.
Yeah, thanks, Peep. I'm really hoping that we see maybe a lightning ending for this last game on Stormpoint, but who knows? I just want to see some teams really have to scramble to get into zone, because we do see that everyone's actually doing pretty well on rotations.
Yeah, here we go. Furia, they're running a really good comp here for this 50-50. They have the Conduit for shields, which is huge when everyone's on white armors. They have Horizon for height, which is great in this POI where roof is really important. But yeah, they've just kind of whiffed 2 fights in a row. They're fighting a really good team, so I mean, it's not like it's surprising. And another fight at wall.
Yeah, of course, we do see a contest off drop immediately. This is one of the latest teams that we were talking about as well. Bricked down to a 1v2, I'm thinking, but unfortunately does get taken out. And that is unfortunate. Brown did end up securing this entire POI for themselves.
Yeah, pretty risky there with the 50-50 drop. Once again, Bricked was doing pretty well, so surprising to see them going out with 0 points there. I'm surprised they weren't playing a little more safe for the long game. And here we are with SSG fighting on the edge. Once again, looks like we're going to be down to 11 teams here pretty soon. And SSG ready to throw down.
Yeah, SSG has been looking pretty good with specific fights. And here they are absolutely shredding. I mean, they have, oh, even with the longbow, being able to take out Vina just effortlessly without even losing anyone.
Imagine being able to track like that. Here we go, Exet. Up against Furia, and it does look like it's still a 3v3. Both teams kind of jockeying for position. Interestingly, though, the team without a Horizon on the roof and Furia are inside the building. They know there's going to be a third party here in about 20 seconds, so yeah, it's in the back of their minds. They're probably not too excited to send it yet.
Yeah, they've been through this time and time again, and we do see knock on Alter again as well, but not really going to be able to help them out in this fight too much. I mean, they are opting to play it a little bit more safe here. They're not fully sending. They do opt for getting more loot more than anything else, but they are very aware that they are being looked at right now.
Yeah, I don't know really what the play is here. They're kind of just up one team on the roof. They're swapping positions, but let's go to a fight that's actually happening here as Dark Zero is running it down once again, chasing a team down this hill. And I'm not exactly sure who they're up against, but they're probably going to have the advantage here considering they do have high ground and it's Dark Zero, but they're going to be backed up a little bit and they might be retreating here.
Yeah, that's probably a good play since we have seen so many teams get eliminated so early on. And I mean, round 1 hasn't even finished closing yet. They do know where they want to go inside the circle. So we do see a lot of teams opting for that rotation instead. But we do see complexity here. Or Exet actually having taken out Furia. They were successful in this contest.
Yeah, I mean, unlucky really is all you can say there. Good try. Furia trying to throw it down 50-50, but whatever they're trying needs to be a little bit adjusted. And here we come in with the third party once again. I don't think either team's going to benefit from this 50-50. E8's looking like they're just going to clean it up once again. Furia and Exet going to take an early exit here. And E8 trying to clean it up here. Whoever that is in the corner is almost trolling at this point. And there they go. So yeah, Furia once again out with 0 points and going to be looking for a huge World's Edge for them in the upcoming 3 games.
Yeah, QTO actively being chased here, unfortunately. Getting their shields hit off while they are rotating around. I mean, this location is just one of the ones that does see a lot of action, unfortunately, because you do have to rotate through it. But it's one of those things that if you can't really avoid it and you just have to be prepared. So a lot of these teams are having to rotate in early. We do see LG again lagging a little bit behind at the wall.
Yeah, once again, this map's playing out very interesting. We have a handful of teams that have decided they're going to play for real, and they go down to Barometer. But looks like the rest of the lobby is going to be fighting on edge and being super aggressive. So we still have 16 squads up. Nice knock there out of 0, long range with that Hemlock. And I don't know who they're up against. Oxygen. So Oxygen's probably going to be hightailing it out of here. And yeah, they're probably not going to take Dark Zero on 2v3, I would imagine.
Yeah, Dark Zero is not in a really good position to be running up on this fight either, so they do have to back up. You do not want to be on that lower ground here. And, oh, we see E8 in another skirmish here against QTO. I guess QTO decided to take the fight here. And again, this building is seeing so much action, but QTO not quite able to fully push in yet. And they're actively being gate kept out pretty successfully.
Nice shots there out of Buxt, and they do get some damage, but have to retreat as both teams are going to fully reset here. And they're going to go in. Nice crack again, but once again, going to do a little retreat. Really hard to push up these stairs, especially when the other team has aim is good, and E8's actually got the upper hand here as Shubi is going to swing around and get the knock on Gwen, and now E8 with the 3v2 is going to run this one down. I don't think this cat wall is going to be enough here, and noble effort here out of Bucks, but not going to be enough, and E8 does take this this win here. As I think one person from the opposing team is going to run away, and E8's just going to chill in the building and welcome another fight.
Yeah, E8 did a great job of making sure they circled out their healthier teammates so that they can continue to keep shooting, which is eventually why they did end up winning on that fight. But Brown looking to come in and third party, not aware that E8 is actually pretty healthy right now, aside from that one crack. But I think they're going to struggle to find an opening in here because they don't have an altar.
Yeah, this is like King of the Hill, some type of limited time mode here that E8 inside the building is playing, as they are just being pushed one team after another, and they're just kind of racking up the kills. They'll be happy to stay there and fight, but it looks like our #1 team in a fight over here. GG with one person up here, and it's going to be Nano, definitely the person you want close range with a Volt here, and they're going to potentially get a 2v1 here. They're up against, is that? No, it's not DSG. Does get the knock here, and going for the res. I'm not sure where the other person is. But
really risky.
Yeah. It's Jin.
Oh, yeah, it's ELN, and they are not looking too healthy right now. So, honestly, backing out to try and heal is the play, but it is unfortunate because now they were able to get their other teammate up, so it's going to be a 2v1 regardless.
Yeah, in my opinion, Jin should probably just send it on whatever HP they have about 20 seconds ago when it was a 1v1 still. And now it's going to be a 2v1. Nano and Louis, brothers. And they're going to be up against Jin. So we got the brothers here about to drop in on Jin. And I think we're going to see Jin take a quick and swift exit back to the lobby here.
It was unfortunate. They did have their Bloodhound eliminated, so if they hadn't looked up in the top floor, Jen would have been able to get away, but ELN was eliminated, which is unfortunate. Now E8 back to E8 now in a fight with LG, but I believe LG now took out E8, and we do see that. Yeah, we do see that LG won, and Twitch Johnny is now the kill leader with 6 kills in this lobby. And we do see another team coming in. It's Johnny's team. I think they want to take this fight, but this one building cannot be seeing this much action. Like, that's kind of crazy.
It is pretty weird, especially it's like it's so far away from where you want to be zone-wise. Like it's almost like a King of the Hill ego fest over there. And good for them, though, showing us some action as LG finally does take out E8. E8 was able to take a couple teams out prior to that, and we have some teams rotating into Barometer finally, and it looks like Oxygen's going to be, I think they got the res. So as we saw earlier, they had lost one player. They went out, got the revive, and they're going to be moving in as a trio unless they do get knocked there. Aiden does get knocked, so back to a duo, and they're getting chased down by SSG.
Unfortunately, Oxygen was also eliminated, and we are seeing a lot of these skirmishes on the outside of the zone here because we are seeing teams moving in. They do want to get the best positioning, but of course the teams that already have set up, they're just getting everyone trickling in, so they're able to get some free damage, free XP. We do see that C9 is one of the teams that are in the prime spots already, same with Not Moist, and DZ is still stuck in that one building below. They're not able to really move up.
And funny, once again, down to 11 squads. It's only round 2 closing, so a bit of a repeat from game number 2 as the lobby is thinning out super fast. This is going to be good for edge fights, though. There's not going to really be any third parties at this point. Dark DSG knows it, and they're looking for 3 KP here. I'm not exactly sure who they're fighting.
Yeah, there are a lot of teams living in this zone here. We do see DSG is pretty leveled up here. Designful does have to back out to fully bat, and it's going to be a bit of a slow fight here if they do decide to engage, but they haven't really decided yet. I think they want to play for a better position since they are actively getting shot at by other teams in the area.
Yeah, they're on triple red armors, so I would imagine that the team they're fighting is on blue armors. Once they identify that, I'm surprised they're not just sending, although the Caustic's definitely going to prevent any type of send here with the ult coming in. Gwen and Bucks both going down to an arc star from Timmy, so I think DSG is definitely going to have the upper hand here. QTO going out, and yeah, right when they saw blue shields, I think it was a GG for QTO.
Yeah, I think Sykes just showed the importance of why you never stop shooting just in case that door opens even just a little bit, which if you don't know, the doors can open with bullet fire. It's very rare, but it does open. And so he did a great job of continuing to fire, which did end up helping them win that fight. So it's one of those things of like, you can't count out any or all of your bullets. But DSG, Brown, and LG are pretty far outside the circle, and the timer is counting down. They do have a minute. But we do see that there are a ton of teams already living inside the next circle. So it's going to be a bit of a fight to get in there.
Yeah, Barometer has a lot of vacancy, a lot of apartments, a lot of floors, a lot of space for teams to set up. So I think we're going to have a bit of a lull here. I can't imagine there's going to be much fighting here, as we do have an evac tower. Interesting. Might as well go ahead and use it. They might just be flying to a different spot here. There should be a lot of space still with only 10 squads up. Three or four of the squads aren't even here yet, so they're just setting up for in-game, and should be a spicy one. But yeah, like I said, only 10 squads up. We might be a few minutes before we see much action.
Yeah, Not Moist is actually not in a terrible position. They just need to be able to maintain. We did see Guild kind of take that Arc Star there. People do know where they are, but if they're able to hold this, they may be able to hold out other teams moving towards them. We actually see C9 in probably the best position if they're able to hold and if the circle does pull in their favor.
Yeah, Dark Zero throwing some nades, poking a bit, seeing if they can get any free knocks here, but kind of an awkward time here in the game with only 10 squads up. They have identified there's only about 4 teams around them, but if we can get some edge fighting, that could be good. Like I said, there's only a few teams out there, so they know they can pretty much pull it off without getting third party, and that is a pretty risky evac tower. It's Funk getting somebody down the flesh, and now's the time where all the teams on the edge are going to try to fly in and look for a spot here. Landing on the roof is a little risky, but yeah, they're pretty low.
Yeah, this could be where we see GG not enter into the top 5, but we'll see because they're still looking pretty healthy. But LG might be their downfall for them if they're able to secure a good position, because all of these buildings are already occupied and LG is actually struggling to find a good place to be at. They'll be safe here for the next circle, but they do have to fight for this building.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much they're willing to use to take this building. This is not where the zone's going to end, and they definitely will be getting shot potentially from the team sitting in Barometer, so looks like they might just go ahead and back off here. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to try to use all of their resources at this point. Definitely need to save some grenades and batteries for late game, and I like that call there, not fighting that.
Yeah, it's a tough position when you're one of the latest teams to rotate in. You are just going to have to wait for a fight or hope that the team that is guarding you moves in, but it's not likely at this point because for the team that is actually in circle, it's just free kills for them. So we'll see there. And Not Moist still holding their ground here pretty well. No one has come up to them yet, which is surprising since they are kind of in the open, but they actually do have to move, and looks like they're opting for under the bridge.
Yeah, under the bridge, not the very best spot here, and it does look like some of the other teams from Hyde are coming down as well. So we might be seeing, as the zone compresses here, these teams are getting a little anxious, knowing that there are too many teams on this Barometer side edge. So it would be good if one team starts clearing the others out. Dark Zero thinking about being that team.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that all the teams that decided to move into Barometer early are now realizing that they have to move as well. So LG may actually not be one of the worst positioned teams right now. I believe it's C9, Not Moist, Brown, and DZ and GG that are actually in the most of a pickle because they're going to have to fight all of those teams existing in Barometer just to get over to the bridge side.
Yeah, no one's really running Valkyrie here, so no easy exit from Barometer. Evac towers aren't going to work. You have 7 teams that are all going to be trying to get out of there. So, in my opinion, you need to fight early. You don't want to be trying to make those fights as the zone's closing. That just tends to be a disaster, and it really takes the ball out of your court. If these teams could go ahead and fight now, they'd have a much better chance of pulling it off.
Yeah, we do see that SSG specifically was using up way too many resources to just try and take out one of the teams that were crossing over. But LG actually finds a pretty good position inside this next circle. They are trying to opt for the next area, but ooh, they did actually connect with their grenades there. So I think they might want to push in soon, but they are being aware that there are other teams actively looking at them.
Ooh, and that's Dark Zero taking shots from both sides and going down there. Tried to fly in, but just LG was in such a good spot. And here comes the Trident play. Absolutely crazy. And here's what I'm talking about. The zone's closing. This is not what you want here, is you're running with 3 teams and getting shot from all the teams that are already here at the bridge. So C9 actually might be able to pull this off.
Yeah, we do see C9 moving in pretty quickly. They did get their ultimate destroyed here. Ooh, the 30-30 shots coming in clutch here, but Hal taking a bit of damage as well. And he's going to scan for his team and back off here because he is taking a little bit too much damage.
And here we go. This team is going to push out towards them. They're getting shot from the side as well from LG, and I think they're going to be under big pressure here, getting absolutely slammed into. C9 eliminated.
Yeah, but LG is not out of the woods yet. We do see them taking a look at the other teams moving up. LG trying to take the high ground here with Funk, and I'm not quite sure he has the viewpoints here to take anyone down.
And just like that, we're down to 3 squads. I thought there might be a couple more teams that could coexist over near that bridge, but we're going to have LG, SSG, and DSG with the final fights here. And wouldn't want to be in the middle there, as SSG is stuck in between both teams. DSG, LG putting pressure on SSG from both sides.
Yeah, and Sweet opts to take the back angle to make sure that he can provide backup for his team here, making sure to take up as much space as possible because you do not want anyone to come and take your position. But we do see DSG Sykes coming up to directly oppose Sweet, and Sweet does have to move back, trying to take this 1v1 and does get downed. And DSG takes the win. They were so good at playing split there that they were able to divide LG's attention. What a great job.
Yeah, good to see a 3v3 there at the end. DSG versus LG, 2 super strong teams. And it'll be interesting to see what the scores say here at the end. I know LG was already in the top 10, and I'd like to see what we were watching a couple of the women's teams that were currently in top 10. I hope they got some points as well. But yeah, interesting game there. Like I said, as round 2 was already 11 squads up, and the lobby's thinning out super fast.
Yeah, honestly, I fully expected LG to be able to take that win there, but DSG just played such a great job being able to take their ones, and unfortunately, LG just wasn't able to keep up with them. But great job. I mean, they secured second place for the 3rd match, and this was the final match on Stormpoint too.
Yeah, looking forward to World's Edge. Like I said, I think Fury is going to go big on World's Edge. Back home, hopefully they're not being contested on drop, so they get a clean start here, as that's the team that we were going to be rooting for. But yeah, World's Edge, a completely different vibe. We might see some more alters. That alter is maybe a little bit better on World's Edge with all the building fights. So yeah, hoping to see Furia clutch it up here for me.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Well, let's go ahead and take a quick break so that we can get our teams reset on the new map. So go get some water, go use the restroom, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Welcome back, everybody. That was game 3, our final game on Storm Point, an absolute banger. A lot faster of some gameplay that we're a little used to in comp, but that's all right. And you want to know why that's all right? Because we have another giveaway for you guys, thanks to ASUS ROG. We have the ASUS ROG Strix XG27 ACS gaming monitor. And for anybody that wants to win a brand new gaming monitor, all you have to do is go to the SOAR Twitch channel and type out the word legend. You're gonna automatically be entered to win, and one of you guys is gonna be leaving with a brand new ROG Strix XG27 ACS gaming monitor. So come to the SOAR chat, type in the word legend, and one of you is gonna win. So we are back. That was game 3. Stella, Juka, what do we think?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great match. There was so much action just at the beginning and at the end that I am very excited to see people play on World's Edge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one thing that I noted was Brown, a team that really needed some points. They were kind of at the bottom of the leaderboard, did just that. They had a couple of early fights that really paid off for them, so they are now looking like a top 10 could be in their future.
Yep, that's another women's team coming closer to the top 10. You absolutely love to see it. But speaking of loving to see it, I mean, Juka, you're looking at these replays here. Take us through a couple of them.
I didn't like this fight. This fight was tough. This was when there was the solo gen inside the building, but they kind of breezed through the very end of that. As we saw there, DSG have been playing exceptionally well, and I'm not surprised to see them in second place. LG is another team that's been finding themselves in a good late game spot. And I say late game, but we're really only like 10 teams up by second zone. So, you know, the way some of these games have been playing are a little interesting to me, but it's been a little kill racy at the beginning. But, you know, it's a qualifier, so top 10 is all that matters. So the left-hand side of that leaderboard, those are the teams that are sitting pretty right now. But look at all the teams with 12 points. We've got a 4-way tie for 12.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Stella, you're looking at the leaderboards right now. You're looking at the bottom 10. Talk to us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like since we are switching to a map that most people have the most time on, they're going to feel way more comfortable on World's Edge. I do believe that a lot of the last top 5 players, so 11th through 15th, it's going to change. And we know that Oxygen Esports is pretty good. Also, Furia, we know that they're a team that is extremely talented. So they could end up bringing it up. And the difference between getting an extra like 8-10 points in order to get into the qualifiers is not that far off, especially with 3 games left. So again, places, let's say 6 to 10 are probably up in the air. That could probably change depending on, say, Bricked having a really good game or STN having a really good game. So that's something that could really change. The top 3 spots I feel like are pretty solidified, and we know that those teams are going to be able to continue racking up points. But I think 5th through 10th place right now is kind of up in the air, especially since the last 10 teams are pretty talented too.
Yeah, I'd love to see all these teams rip a page out of Gaming Gladiator's book, because I feel like they're one of the few teams that have actually been playing how comp should be played. You know, you get a couple kills, you're rotating, and you're getting a spot in zone, and you're getting ready for the end game. At that last game, you know, God spot, which was the pineapple down below, which allows you to basically control the bridge. Nobody was at. Nobody went into the bridge until the second to last zone. So I'm really surprised. So Juka, you're looking at the top 10 here. Anything that really stands out to you?
No, I'm not surprised to see the top 10 that we see there. I will say I'm maybe a little surprised to see that Fury is sitting where they are on the leaderboard, but World's Edge is their map. It's okay. I hope that we'll see a few more altars. We saw, I think it was only 1 or 2 teams rocking the altar. I really want to see some more. I think that altar has potential to be fun, especially with the teams that are sitting in the top part of that leaderboard. You know, let them take a little risks and put on a show for us.
Absolutely. So, Juka, you're signed to Furia, right?
Yes.
Words of encouragement for the boys right now.
I'm just going to say it now. You know, maybe management wants Andrew and me to step up on the Fury team if you boys don't step it up. So You know,
fellas.
you don't want us in there.
Maybe we do. Maybe we do. I mean, 0 points after 3 games. Boys, what are we doing? Gotta lock it in, all right? But like you said, World's Edge, it's a new map. It's a new feel. I will say it usually does play a little bit more aggressive than Stormpoint. So I'm wondering if that's going to continue to be a trend that we're going to be seeing. But
Can't imagine more aggressive than what we've already seen so far, but we'll see.
yeah, I mean, everybody has been absolutely swinging. I would love for them to slow it down a little bit. Give us a little more gameplay, you know, slow down the fights a little bit. That way we're able to pick and choose what fight we want to see at the right time. But Stell, do you think we will be seeing some alter in World's Edge?
I think so. I think we definitely will. And I think fights are going to be faster in World's Edge because, again, the ring closure has actually been ticked up. So it goes a lot faster, which is why we're seeing a lot more action a lot faster. And everyone wants to get as much XP as fast as possible. So hopefully Alter does that because I think Alter has a lot of great plays possible on World's Edge specifically. So really excited.
Absolutely. Well, World's Edge is starting. We see a contest right here. Ladies, take it away.
Thank you. All right, ELN with no hesitation fighting on the drop as they are the first to lose a player. Jen, Woodland trying to survive. Woodland down, Jen last player on the team, and this is going to be Furia finding themselves with yet another early game fight, but this one is paying off in their favor. They did just lose Kian though, and they're trying right now to get the res. ELN fully eliminated. So they're on the leaderboard. Let's go, Furia.
Yeah, I'm really glad that they were able to win a contest. I mean, it only took them 3 games to do it, but you know what? Hey,
counting.
Yeah, better now than not at all. So very happy for them.
As we saw by the leaderboard, I think it was 12 points was the 4-way tie, you know, from
Yes.
9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So, you know, just one decent game, you can find yourself there. Hate also in the middle of a fight as they do get Gwen down and knocked, and it looks like they're not giving up. They're on the hunt, and this is Kieto that they're chasing.
Yeah, we do see that they are 1 player out. They're not able to get the banner quite yet. They are trying to actually get more of this damage out here. Unfortunately, that they could not connect more here. I think they may have to just make a play for the banner if they want to fully get their teammates back, but it looks like they are actually going to be in a 2v3 here.
Yep, they are, and that Bloodhound scan is going to give them the vital information that they need to walk up and be aggressive. You can see they're holding the angles with the Spitfire. Kind of a tough loadout here, but doing as much as they possibly can. They're poking in here on the Caustic, and that is going to be a full team wipe, and they did not lose a player. Two players on blue shields already, too.
Yeah, Hate looking pretty good here. I mean, you always want to take as many points as you can right off the bat so you can get the blue shield so you can feel good going into the next few fights. But we do see that the zone is pulling to the south, and a lot of the teams are going to have to make their way through several different choke points just to get in.
Yeah, it looks like we might even have what I can't believe early game moment of silence among the players here, as we've only had 2 fights. We can see Complexity already trying to hit evac and find a better spot in zone. This is one of those zones where you mentioned with all those choke points, you just kind of got to get through them early game. Sometimes that tunnel right behind where Kimchi just landed is a good spot to hold, a little high ground area, but they do have the Catalyst on the team, so they feel a little bit safer at reinforcing the doors and just enforcing this area.
Yeah, we do see these teams actively rotating in. Furia going to have to take a look at MVL moving into their territory here. Hopefully they were able to get enough loot because they're going to be in another fight very soon.
And really happy to see MVL playing today, and what a comp out of this team. Can we take a second to appreciate the Crypto, Alter, and Catalyst comp? Now, MVL is one of the teams in the women's scene. I believe they've only been together for about a month now, and they're one of the only teams in the women's scene that are rocking a Crypto. So pretty cool to see them playing. I was actually watching Val a little bit earlier today. So very interesting comp. You know, these are unique legends, and I'm anxious to see how they play together.
Yeah, we do see Keon actively rotating very quickly out of the location, and they are trying to go for the drop here. Hopefully it's something good, and not just I remember seeing a gold PK, which I like gold weapons, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing like a care package weapon that can really turn around your luck. Now we do see C9 and Yes, we do see C9 up at the top here, just trying to make sure no one is going to come up behind them. They do know that there is a team in front of them in No Name, so that is something that they're going to be looking for.
Yep, and it looks like they just pinged the beacon behind, so they want to get that information, get a little bit more idea of which ways could be safely to rotate or the best way of where they want to get situated for zone. Like seeing Hal sub on the team here. Taking a look from Hate's point of view, this was the other team I believe that was in the choke, but C9 just pushed on through. I don't think we're going to see any action from them. They're going to try to get a little bit more added to their shield by opening up those bins. And there's that survey beacon scan that most likely was coming from C9.
Yeah, we do see SSG making one of their rotations here. And I do want to point out that it's very good that C9 was going for the different objectives within the game to get XP. It is something incredibly smart. We did see TSM actually taking that strategy into play at LAN as well. They rotated around halfway through the map and they were able to get to purple shields, which was huge. So getting to purple with round one closing is incredible, especially since most teams are at blue. And right here, we do see two teams going towards each other. It's STN trying to get their way into this fight, popping that Bloodhound ultimate.
Yep, they're healing up. They just got hit by that crypto ult, and that crypto ult really did slow them down a bit. You can see Toucan going in here. Got to show Toucan some love as she's popping off right now. I've known her for quite some time. She used to compete in our Juke Bowl tournaments back in the day. She is a force to be reckoned with, and she is doing absolutely everything she can to get that shield swap off, and she does get it. And look at these moves. Beast of the Hunt helping out, giving her a little extra zoom, pep in the step, and she's got to avoid these grenades, and these grenades are just too good. That's Furia with the third party.
Yeah, and that it was just unfortunate. Too much firepower going there. STN is now out, and Furia looking to see where the other team went, trying to follow up on their momentum here.
Oh, man. Okay, I mean, I'm happy it's Furia getting some points, but I'm sad it's Furia with the 3P on that team because they were popping off fighting for their lives right there. But, you know, they're a good team. We'll see them pop off again. All right, Furia, for the first time in tonight's tournament, actually seeing shields that have a color on them.
Yeah, and DSG looking at the fight in front of them, they know that they don't have the opening right now, but they are keeping an eye on Furia in this zone. And we do see that Madness is the only one with purple shields. So it is viable that DSG could come in, but they are aware that they are pretty reset. They're healthy right now. So I think DSG may just back off for now.
Okay, and it is good to see 7 teams alive late. I mean, I hate to say late games, it's still early on, but compared to what we were seeing on Storm Point the last couple of games, this is a breath of fresh air.
I think it's really interesting that players do play a little bit less fast rounds in World's Edge. I think it's because it is a map that everyone's so used to. It is one of the OG maps that competitive Apex happened in. But we do see little fights like this happening, and we do see Keon throwing out that Horizon Q, not quite where he wanted it to go, but able to get some damage in.
I still love that play. I thought his Q went further, and I wasn't sure if that was another Horizon Q at the same time. I think that's what happened in that situation, but yeah, they just kind of have that team cornered. They're trying to get opposite angles and push up, but it looks like they're just deciding to retreat and take some space in this fight as they recognized another team over in the thermal side, so they'd have to back up a bit.
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate they weren't able to capitalize off of that, but they're still doing just fine. LG on the outside of that POI as well, trying to get any damage as possible. And this place is just absolutely popping off with people. GG, our current leaderboard leads, are actively looking for a fight here.
I think it's against C9, and C9, as you guys know, playing with Hal on the team right now. Hal definitely knows how to fight off this POI as Louis goes down. Nando's not happy about losing his brother here as he's putting in a ton of damage, but goes down too. Quizzer, last one on GG. Can he clutch up? Oh, that's a really good Alter Q. And we're finally seeing some great plays with Alter going back and forth, up and down, getting the heady in the body, but it's not enough. A shot in the back. C9 taking him out.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate, but Disguised has a chance to possibly take the first spot from Game & Gladiators now that they are out so early with 16 squads left. SSG actively trailing behind their prey here.
Yeah, I think this is just a really good moment for SSG to take out some strong teams, as we just saw GG and C9 going through it. Now, I think this C9 still has, is it one player up?
They're not fully eliminated yet.
Okay.
So I think they are hunting down the last member, which they're not quite sure where they are yet, but hopefully they do get away because we want to see 16 squads left. We do see that Nocturnal is in a fight and has taken down January somewhere else on the map here.
Yeah, speaking of hunting down, you could see Bricked was thinking about possibly being the fourth party at that fight, but they were back up to take some space. Dark Zero, I feel like I haven't seen too much of them in a minute, so happy to see them pop off this game. I think you said they had already been fighting a little bit. Triple purples for them as they're now taking a look at where Furia was fighting earlier.
And unfortunately, Hate was eliminated, so now it is down to 15 squads here. But DZ looking pretty good, knowing where they should stay. They are actively guarding the circle for the next rotation, which is a little early, but, you know, they are playing position. They have the Bangalore, they have the Catalyst, so they are playing it quite safe here.
Now, they're sitting in the top 10, but they're in I think they're in 7th or 8th place right now, so they could use one more big game to just really sit back and relax. And this does not seem like it's a fight they want to push up. A lot of teams have been looking at that building and that team in there and deciding to back up.
Yeah,
They're going to just retreat a little bit and try to take some more safe space. And I think that's a good call because we saw that happen earlier in game 2 where it was just not going to work out. I think it was DSG that got thirded by LG. And LG, they are the gatekeep specialists because they are doing, again, what I saw them do on Storm Point. Sneaking up. You can notice, guys, this is why it's so important to not have auto run on as the players are walking. Footsteps are much softer if you walk versus running, as they were walking up around the corner trying to get a sneak attack. And does it pay off for them?
Yeah, LG being as aggressive as they can be, knowing that they do have an advantage here, being up on the high ground, taking them by surprise. Now, there is a Catalyst here that doesn't do too much, but they are looking for the last member.
Yeah, and they have the Horizon Q if they need to take it and go back up to high ground. And here we go, 1, 2, 3, sending it. That's got to be so terrifying. And Dark Zero eliminated. They do take Funk down in the process, but they should be able to quickly res and get him back. Gold res.
With gold res, that's so nice.
Furia's back. It looks like they decided to finally push in here. And they have a player called out, not able to connect some of those scout shots, but Keon is on the hunt.
Yeah, and I do think they are going to be able to secure this final member whenever they do find them. But they're opting to come back, make sure that they do have shields. They do actually have a conduit, so that does help them feel more confident in fights, which is probably what helped them out here. And we do see that SSG is playing one of the better high ground spots here, looking for other teams rotating in a circle. And it is always, of course, in the middle of these buildings, but they're actually opting to find a team that is outside of this POI.
Yeah, that's Bricked down there on low ground, and there's even another team that still looked like they were over on the tree side. Not sure. All three of these teams could be in a bit of a pickle as the zone is getting ready to close in just a few seconds. They don't have time to take a look at these fights, and I don't know if that's another team even walking up on Bricked. This could be bad for them.
Yeah, SSG just rotating around. They do just want to get into circle, but also, I mean, if they can get some kills while they do, why not? Now, Furia has been stuck in this position for so long, but LG does decide to finally send it, and they are going to be in a 3v3 team fight.
This looks like the game that they finally need, is they're going to get the crack and the knock, and that's going to be the second player, I believe, down on LG. It's just a solo inside, and looks like they found him out. And that's going to be a wipe on LG and getting some much needed points for Furia, as they already have a good score and have made their way into the top almost 10 of this map.
Yeah, this is a great game for Furia to get into at least top 13, I think, and potentially making up for the lost points in the next 2 matches as well. Now, Oxygen looking pretty good, holding their spot at tree, trying to take out anyone else who may be late rotating in. Not quite able to get that, but SSG is now eliminated as well.
Oh, I'm surprised to see SSG go. I felt like they had the upper hand there, but oh no, Pander's just getting absolutely deleted. That was Complexity. Monsoon with a Nemesis clip on him. Not Moist walking up, might end up punishing Complexity. Oh, but they're going through it right now. Grenades, both players losing their shields, getting a quick shield swap, trying to heal up, but I don't think they have time to at this point. It is a full send. OXG eliminated.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough situation to get out of, and it's only Guild left, but this is not a safe location under the tree anymore. So if he's able to get this off, he's going to have to wrap for the rest of the game because everyone is going to have eyes on him, especially with everyone running Bloodhound.
It looks like Complexity did have somewhat of a reset. They've stabilized for the moment, but you saw C9 kind of laying a little low. Not Moist, the team that was left, eliminated by Complexity. They're going to loot up, but they need to watch out because C9 is hot on their heels.
Yeah, we just see Furious still here against DSG now. DSG has been holding this position for a while, so these teams were aware of where exactly they needed to be for the final few circles, which is incredibly smart, but now they are being held out by DSG. And, I mean, DSG is one of our top performing teams today, so if Furia can get kills against them, that secures them being able to get extra points to possibly get into top 10.
Especially with them having to push from low ground up to high ground where DSG is sitting right now. Now those bang bombs are going to push them back a little bit as Timmy loses his shield, has to hit the bat. Sykes does not have ult, but has a bunch of gas canisters down. Getting the crack, looking to get a sentinel shot to finish off what he started. But no, thankfully that was a teammate taking some bullets for them. What a teammate.
Yeah, no, DSG is looking very healthy. Sykes is almost to his purple, which is going to give him that extra level boost that he needs. But C9 and E8 actively in a skirmish here, but not quite exchanging anything, so no one is actively pushing towards each other.
Yeah, so C9 was kind of holding edge, as we saw earlier. I was thinking they were going to sneak attack Complexity, as I just saw Complexity getting eliminated in the kill feed. Complexity have been playing okay. They're in the top 10. They definitely secured top 10 for now, but they might have to show up because some of the teams that are at the bottom half of the leaderboard are playing well in this game.
Yeah, and look, there is a drop there, but no one is able to go for it because they know that is just a call for everyone to shoot at them, which is unfortunate. But Furia looking pretty good here. That conduit play coming in quite handy here. They are able to continue holding this top position, but it's going to be really hard because we know that DSG is looking to take this position as well. But luckily, everyone else is lower ground, so they only have to focus on the team in front of them.
I want to make note that not a soul is in zone right now. Now, Furia almost has a foot in zone, but no one is. So this is going to be one of those situations where we do have some elevation at play with where the zone's pulling, but this could be really tough, complete out in the open where some abilities, certain legends are really going to shine.
Yeah, we do see that everyone is slowly coming into the circle. I mean, no one wants to be the first one to move. They know someone is high ground, which is just the reason why no one wants to move into circle quite yet. And Sykes, with that Sentinel, does get a pretty juicy crack there, but not able to capitalize off it.
Yeah, you can see DSG just trying to hold their position as much as possible. C9 are going to take a fight on edge as zone is closing in. They've got a team on low ground kind of pinched. Good grenades on them. I'm not sure if any of those are going to connect. And no, they kind of force them into... Are they sitting in tunnel? No, they can't. They have to walk up. Huge grenades. Their toes are burning. C9 full health. Just needs to not take damage from the team above. But the team above is dropping.
And unfortunate for them, the conduit ultimate does come down, slowing down the enemy here. And that is Furia finally eliminated in 4th place, which is great for them, still racking up those points. But C9 and DSG actively facing each other as C9 has to come up on the high ground.
Oh, this is just going to be shooting fish in a barrel for DSG as they did get the angles. Yeah, I don't think they counted on Design at all, sliding up over there, getting so split from the team. He's going to hit that quick phase, get back to a good position. But Timmy with the Devo and plenty of ammo, I wouldn't count him out. And look at this play here. I am not used to seeing this, and I did not know Xset was still in the tunnel. And the only reason why they can still be there and possibly even get out of this situation is because of the altar.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this kind of play with Ultra. Now, there is a specific depth that you can get to with Ultra, and I'm not sure if you can get through this or not, but it looks like you can. You just have to place it in a specific place. So hopefully they don't do it going up too much because they could end up running into another team, but looks like they actually ended up placing it. Oh. Okay, they almost
like
had
they
it in a good position. If they don't drop, they're okay, but unfortunately, that is where the Nexus relay is.
Yeah, it's kind of a blind landing with that. I mean, I wonder if it would even give you an indicator of, hey, that's going to be in zone. I don't think it would, but That is risky. I mean, it gets them out of that situation, but I don't know. Wraith might have been a better play there to portal the team out. DSG just sitting on high ground, but there is the Devo that I knew. Timmy goes down, DSG down to a solo, and they are wiped. It's going to be C9. All up, all alive. Most likely a C9 win here.
Yeah, it's C9 versus XSET, and it's going to be just a 1v3. And of course, C9 does take the win here. It was just the power of numbers, unfortunately. But I was really happy to see the altar play if they had just held the higher position, but I think they ended up slipping off, which was the unfortunate mistake.
Yeah.
But great job by all the teams. I'm just really happy that we were able to see some altar on World's Edge.
I'm all here for it. Yeah, Alter, seeing her at play, especially since they were all tucked into a little safe area here and had the wall they had to go through, that was neat to see. Again, I still feel like Wraith could have been better in that scenario, but it was a good play, and this is, you know, one of the first big tournaments since she's been out, so they're figuring it out still.
Yeah, and we always love to see XSET. I mean, XSET is full of really talented players who know how to utilize each Legends kit to the max. So it was really good to see that. Unfortunate second ending, but I mean, they're still racking up points, and I'm really excited to see where everyone sits in the leaderboard. But of course, we got to take a quick break.
Welcome back, everybody. That was game 4, our first World's Edge game on the $25,000 for those who dare tournament. I mean, we got a little bit of a taste of Alter, and it really makes you excited to see the future of this character, especially in comp. But something even more exciting, we have our giveaway winner picked out. All right, so we have Baystein. I might have absolutely butchered that name, but Bay, please do not be upset with me, because you just won an ASUS ROG Strix XG27 ACS gaming monitor. It's a 27-inch monitor, 1440p, 180 hertz, with a 1 millisecond response time. So you are absolutely walking away from the stream with a smile on your face, and I can't wait to see it. But guys, game number 4, Stella, Drew, talk to me. We got some replays right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was really glad that Furia had won their contest off drop. I hope they have a good luck next time as well. But I don't know. I feel like Drew has more of a horse in that race, though.
Yeah, I like the way that played out. It's going to be a nice mix-up in the lobby. Some of the teams that were on the lower half did have good games here, as we did discuss earlier. World's Edge plays completely different. Also interesting to see teams playing similar comps, like Furia still running the Conduit, which Stella mentioned earlier is something she would like to see played more. So obviously Furia looking to fight on the edge with Conduit and Horizon. I wonder if that's just a play for this particular tournament, just knowing the competition, or if that's something they're going to be trying in actual comp play. So yeah, just really cool, different play styles on World's Edge, and I like the way that game played out.
Yep. Well, Furia went from 20th to 11th. All right. Only 4 points away from booking their ticket to the $25,000 finals. Drew, you got to be excited about that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was in their chat kind of hyping them up there, and no, stoked about it. You know, there's a lot of the players out here we actually love to see do well, and Complexity, one of those other teams who we're really good friends with. Good to see them in 6th place here, and really rooting for some of these women's teams to jump here into the top 10. I think we're still with 2 games left in territory where that could happen, and we're looking for some big games out of them right now. They're stuck in the bottom 10.
Absolutely, but even the last place women's team, I believe, could have a chance. They have a pop-off game
Yeah.
here. They could make it into the top 10. So Stella, you're looking at the bottom 10 here. Give them some words of advice of what they should sort of change to sort of, book their ticket.
I feel like they're all doing really well. I think I can't give the advice of rotating in early because a lot of teams are doing that. But the thing is, if you're rotating in early, expect to have fights to secure the ground that you want to be at, right? There's always going to be a fight to be in that one building or to be in that one cave that you want to be in. So just be prepared to be in a fight and just go into it being like, yeah, no, we got this, instead of being all negative, like, oh man, we got to do this. Don't give so much pressure on yourself, because that's probably going to make you choke in a fight. But just be fully prepared for a fight and make sure to bring your all into it.
Yep. Yeah, I think when a team is having a good time, no matter what the score is, I think the results of that when they're having a good time are a lot better than, damn, we're in final place. We got to turn it up. We got to lock it in. But speaking of locking it in, I gotta bring up Feria again. From 20th to 11th, I know they're a Brazilian org, so I gotta say, Feria, vamos aí, cara, vamos aí. Drew, what sort of changed there in game number 4 for Feria?
Yeah, they won their contest, which is good. They were able to get some good loot, and we know they're competitive in fighting 3v3 fights. They know how to rotate, so as long as they can get the ball rolling, I think they're going to be fine making the top 10. And I'll just add a little more to what you asked, Stella. I think some of the teams in the bottom 10, if I were them, what I would do is try to figure out how to get to that God spot. Like you said, it's going to be really hard, but if they could get there with a good control legend, maybe a catalyst in a building where they can really fortify it, or a caustic, or maybe even both, even throw 2 control legends in there, somehow just make it into God spot area. Fingers crossed that it pulls towards you, and you could have a huge game. That's really what they got to focus on. Maybe get off the edge. It's not really the place you want to be with these lobbies. So anything's possible with 2 games left.
Absolutely. And I mean, we saw a lot of the same sort of comp that we saw in ALGS LAN, the Bloodhound, the Caustic, the Bangalore. Stella, anything, any ideas on how to combat that other than running the comp itself?
Well, I feel like there's not really much advice I can give on that, because those legends have been around forever and people know what to expect with that sort of comp, right? I do feel like it's one of those things of don't let Caustic scare you, because he has had several changes to his kit where you can now just delete his barrels by shooting at them. So just don't be afraid to shoot at the barrel and then shoot your attention to the enemy that is behind it, right? So I think a lot of people get afraid when they see Caustic. They're afraid of the slow, but honestly, as long as you have a team positioned with you and taking different angles, it's really not going to stop you that much. So I feel like that's something that people kind of forget about.
Yep. Well, one thing I didn't forget about, right, which is something I've been begging for since the beginning of this tournament, were the altar plays. We saw a little bit of it from taking height on certain things, but that play from the tunnel to the actual circle for endgame was something we haven't seen yet. And I know they sort of have to nail it down a little bit, but I think the possibilities are there, And speaking of possibilities, it is anybody's game in game number 5 here. Guys, take it away.
Yeah, I love to see the ship flying directly out of the bird's mouth there. And should be a good game number 5 here on World's Edge, as we do have a couple 50-50 drops. We're going to be keeping a close eye here on Furia, who is being contested, and we'll see if they can keep the momentum here after a big game 4.
Yeah, I'm really excited for them. I think they're feeling confident now that they do have a fight under their belt, and they obviously had a pretty easy time doing it. So hopefully they're able to convince themselves that they could do that again this time around. And it looks like they do have weapons off drop. So, I mean, hey, that's a really good sign.
Looking good, and we're going to be pushing up here. They are taking the height here on the bridge, all stacked together here, deciding not to split drop. Whoop. And they did catch Aura out there. Aura probably did not expect all of them to be up on the bridge there like that. And unlucky, it's going to be a 3v2 there. Very quick fight here at Landslide that was STN getting eliminated there. But now Furia is hunting down the remaining player or two in this 50-50.
Yeah, great on them for being able to secure that. And yes, Furia is looking extremely strong here. Even if they don't figure out where the third is, I'm sure this is still great for their confidence, although they do have to be careful because LG is now looking at them. Oh, gets the crack on one of them. And they just have to be careful because now LG has the high ground.
Look at that. Yeah, they Furia was out here vibing. They felt so good and confident, relaxed, and all of a sudden LG saying, hey, boys, chill out. We're here. LG coming to spoil the party for Furia. And Furia needs the points. They're not even in the top 10 right now. So LG just going to make it a super aggressive push, getting hide here from Slayer. And they're running a really aggressive comp here with Horizon and the Altar.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. Just as Furia was trying to breathe here, they weren't able to quite get away from this. But that's all right. I mean, LG is... oh, taking as many peeks as possible. Look at that nasty little door peek. That was absolutely disgusting. And Funk trying to follow up on the damage from his teammate here. Not able to get the knock just yet, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to secure it in just a moment. But he actually goes down himself.
Yeah, and that's another person that got flunked down. Woodland Chuck. Furia is eliminated, but there's a third party potentially close by. LG has to be careful, and Funk was eliminated. I guess the really big story there is Furia is eliminated. They'll probably still be out of the top 10, so they're going to have one game, the final game, to try to make it into the top 10 after being eliminated that early.
Yeah, I'm glad they were able to get some KP under their belt at least, but hopefully they are able to make up for it in the next game. It was just unfortunate. I think that LG knew that they were going to be in that area. They were going to be in staging, so they just made the rotation very quickly, but also to get into the zone as well. So it's another one of those plays where it's totally fair. They did what they could, but it was just unfortunate because they were not ready for such a fast rotation.
Yeah, it's a really smart play out of LG. They landed kind of Mirage, Etoile, and basically just grabbed a gun and just W-keyed it down towards Furia, who seemed to be kind of relaxed, just kind of jogging around down there. I don't think Furia really expected LG to push him that fast.
Yeah, I think LG they must have gotten really good loot, which again, Apex is not just about your own skill, it is also about RNG, which is so important in early game fights like that. So LG must have gotten very lucky on their drop and just felt really confident to push in. But Vena losing one of their members here in this fight. Ooh. But they do have a catalyst, so they are able to barricade some doors. And it's actually against Complexity, and Kimchi does take down Kara. So now it's going to be a 3v2.
Yeah, Complexity.
Oh, never mind. Vena's just out.
Complexity quickly wiping that and not even taking a second to breathe. They're just going to go ahead and go on to the next 3v3. They're looking for 6 kills here, and they're going to be up against Oxygen, but this area is getting pretty congested here. The teams have noticed that this is where the zone's going to be pulling. So Complexity, I think, going to be happy to get a little loot and hang out in this building, which is a really good late game position.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of teams just setting up early, you know, getting out their picnic baskets, laying down their little blankets, and I think it's a great strategy. But again, a lot of these teams have to get a little bit more ferocious with defending that. Now, speaking of one of those ferocious teams, DZ, we see them pushing towards this team in this tunnel, going towards their next point. They are going outside of the circle, though.
Yeah, Dark Zero is just, they're feeling really good today. They have a lot of points, so they can play loose, and they are just running E8 down right now. Zach does get thirsted in the tunnel. I think one player of E8 was able to make it away. Dark Zero might just go ahead and chill there. Chasing him all the way through Skyhook would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, MVL over here in what used to be Harvester, and now they are, the Q didn't quite work there with their teammate getting in the way, but I think they are trying to defend themselves from a potential team fight here.
Yeah, MVL definitely needs some points here. This is one of our bottom 10 teams. Trying to play it pretty slow here. Has the area pretty catalyst up, but Costical comes in, and then the panic sets in. Here we go with a ultimate wall coming down. A 12-foot wall is not going to be enough here, and I think they're getting pinched here on both sides, it seems like. So unfortunate for them. MVL is going to be down to one person. Not sure the altar is going to be enough here. No.
That could have been a good 1v1, but unfortunately, of course, it is a team game, so their teammate did come in to back them up. It was a valiant try, but now we do see Xset. I think they are finishing up a few of their kills here, but they are actively being gate kept out from rotation.
Yeah, 16 squads up, so World's Edge is playing a little healthier than Stormpoint did. Teams are definitely fighting on the edge, but a lot of them still staying alive here. So we might have an interesting late game here. C9 representing rolling with Imperial Hal today as a sub, so that's always fun. SSG is gatekeeping C9 right now. Grenades coming in, and they're looking to get aggressive.
Yeah, SSG full purples, looking better than half the lobby here, which is great. Now we do see complexity is still up and actually going up against two other teams existing in this end game area.
Yeah, and this is going to be a cluster here as Not Moist trying to figure out what's going on. And this is the late game positioning. Pretty crazy that they're actually trying to fight here. There's so many teams around, and you can see there's about 3 teams shooting at this from a distance, as well as 2 teams in this building. So this is a pretty risky fight here.
Ooh, okay, getting a good beam there, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Not Moist looking pretty solid here with their caustic. I mean, just barricading that room.
Yeah, launch site is just exploding with gases and ults right now. GG's coming in here. This is one of our top performing teams on the day, and like I said, they have plenty of points to play loose. So they said, screw it, we're going in. We want more kills. We want some more action. And they're looking like they're getting involved here. Nice shots out of Nano here with the Vault. We've seen Nano running the Vault almost all day. Gonna grab the banner, and they're looking for a res here.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They have the time to play, so why not? I mean, they're a really strong team, and they seem extremely confident. Not a lot is going to shake their trust in their team and their abilities at all.
So here, DSG thinking about taking a fight with LG, but they're going to go ahead and walk back up the hill. This would be a nice isolated fight. I'm not really sure what happened there to make them not want to fight. I guess the zone's going to be closing here on them pretty soon. They're going to play it safe. 12 squads up. I guess they're a little nervous to fight there. They do need a couple more points to 100% solidify their top 10. So just going to go ahead and play it safe.
Yeah, and that's a really good call. I mean, we have, one more game on World's Edge, so it's a good call to try and get as many points as possible. And the positioning here now, goodness, launch site is still looking absolutely atrocious in terms of trying to get a position in. So hopefully teams are ready to fight.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's wild that DSJ probably identified that was LG down there. Even with a couple poke shots, you can look at the couple player skins, you can see just how they're shooting and how they're reacting, and you can immediately determine whether it's a team that you want to take on 50-50. So that's another thing that pro teams are really good at, that most teams aren't. Oh, trap. Hold on.
Yep.
The trap is here. And great trap here out of Team Brown. DSG had, no, sorry, Dark Zero had no idea that was happening. And that is a really good strategy here, as this is one of our bottom 10 teams, and they need something to happen here big in this game. They could probably go ahead and chase that down too, but they're just going to hang out here and get the 1 kill.
Honestly, that was just such a beautiful, beautiful trap. That was really funny. If I was that person, I would just be throwing my controller down. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good play, though. It's respectable. I mean, at this point, it's really hard to get kills in this lobby, and so you got to do what you got to do. But DSG just going to go ahead and bully their way into this building and forcing a team out, and the team that they're chasing is running right into another team potentially. No, I think they're good, but looks like Dark Zero eliminated in the kill feed. It looks like the team that they ran into, Brown was able to clean them up. DSG on the hunt here. Ooh.
Yeah, it looks like DSG does lose Designful here, but Sykes and Timmy are looking pretty strong. Wondering if they're going to go back in there, knowing that it's going to be a 2v3. They are trying to get as many pod shots as possible outside, but unfortunately, not really able to capitalize off it.
Yeah, and it's kind of it's a little bit awkward taking these fights in this lobby. It's kind of a mixed bag. Not every team is as well oiled and as good as some of the others. So DSG was probably pretty confident rolling up in there until they got 1 mag by the Havoc of Slayers there. So kind of an unfortunate play there. I'm not sure they're gonna really try to take this 2v3 here, but Timmy did amp up the Sentinel, and these guys are going to put some resources into this. They don't have a way to craft the banner, so unless they're trying to finish the game with a duo, they're really going to have to get in there and get the banner.
Yeah, DSG making good use of their caustic here. Oh, getting a beam, but does have to exchange that kill. Unfortunately, that is going to be the end of Sykes LG. Attempting to get the reset there, but not quite able to. Taking the Alter ultimate back to their original station. I am so happy to see Alter plays here.
Hey, we'll take what we can get. Looks like it's going to be Timmy on the Bloodhound ult. Was hoping to come in and do something incredible, but hey, hell, let's just send it. We have some points. We're going in for the 1v1 here, and it is not going to be enough. Sweet with the cleanup on Timmy there. And hey, we're getting a little Alter action. You love to see it.
Yeah, no, that was such a great play. I mean, listen, Ultra's biggest buff is that with her ultimate, you're able to take it even when you're down. So Sweet being able to tell his teammate, hey, get over here and completely reset to the other building, forcing DSG to walk all the way over was such a great play. And that just is what makes me so excited to see more Ultra plays. But again, it is a really hard move to pull off, but luckily that worked out for their situation.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It's got the same vibe as the Revenant ult before Revenant was patched and changed, so where you can kind of go on a suicide mission and still stay alive. So kind of like that. The old Revenant was fun, had some cool aspects. So nice to see Alter there actually working here.
Yeah. So we do see GG fully back. I mean, we do see that one of their teammates is only on blues, but that shouldn't be a huge deal considering their teammates are pretty loaded up here. So it is unfortunately the caustic that is not fully leveled up, but hopefully he hits that soon. And we do see two teams actively looking at each other. It is Bricked here, one of your teams that you are opting for right now.
Yeah, Brick needs a big game in the bottom 10 here. We're looking for a few of the women's teams to make it into the top 10. Bricked with no kills so far this game, but in a position where they feel confident pushing potentially. But it looks like whoever they were fighting did somehow vanish and has fled the scene.
Yeah, we see them holding down the ground in this building, although they can't stay there, unfortunately, as great of a job as they are doing. And SSG might actually have to move off this ground pretty soon here because we know that Brick is actively looking at them, and this Bangalore ultimate is going to hit them pretty soon if they're not careful.
Yeah, and I think SSG ran into that team that was up there still with the caustic traps. So Brick might go ahead and clean up both of these teams. They really need the points. Not sure what we're looking at here. Getting flashbang, smoked, and the Bloodhound scan is going to be somewhat useful, but going down. Brick with one player up, Jace.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I think the communication was slightly off and they pushed in a little too individually, which was unfortunate. But hopefully they are able to get the reset here. Oh, nope, they get eliminated, and that was E8 coming in to clean up.
Yeah, great play out of E8. They've been playing really well. They were super strong at LAN. Zach's been leading the team, making really good calls, and Not Moist does not have a good position. You can see the zone pulled to the other side of launch site, so that mountain's going to be in the way, and there's very, very few places to play on that side. They're going to try to hit the evac tower. I don't think it goes over the mountain, so they might have to do something weird where they fly around and try to cut through the side. We're going to see. I've never seen an evac tower from there.
Yeah, I think they're, oh my goodness. Yeah, they know that they see the fire there. Hate trying to recover some health before engaging in anything. They did end up getting in circle, and I'm surprised that this building was not taken at all, so good for them. We do see Not Moist coming in as well, literally throwing themselves into the fight, but they're looking extremely strong, especially with the Havoc there on Yanya. He knows exactly how to work the system here. They are able to clean up, but unfortunately they are down to one player, and Hate, seeing this, they are absolutely going to come in and try to take this opportunity to finish up Not Moist.
Yeah, big play here from Hate. Sorry, they
Yes.
need the kills. Not Moist eliminated, LG eliminated, and that was a pretty awesome play from Not Moist. You can see the evac tower did make it over the mountain. I think they did a bit of a ooh play where they just kind of landed on top of them, and it was pretty awesome play, but Hate actually does get the kills there.
Yeah, that was a great play by them. I mean, it is unfortunate to get third-partied like that, but hey, that's the name of the game, unfortunately. So either you're ready or you're not. So Xset holding a pretty good position, but they are going to have to push forward a bit, and they do have a team actively looking down at them. I am honestly shocked that that position has not been pushed out of circle yet.
Yeah, this is a tough zone. All the teams were banking on launch site pull. And it's one of those that is extremely hard to get into if you're not there from the beginning. Rez trying to come in here, and
No way.
Nocturnal going to try to prevent it. It does look like it gets off there, so they were using the beacon as cover, and there's a team on height that was preventing Xset from actually fully pushing. So a late game Rez, love to see that.
Yeah, that was absolutely beautiful. We love to see teammates bringing in others, and GG is still in this, which is so surprising. E8 holding God spot right now. They're going to be okay to stay up there, and they have a ton of loot boxes to stay healthy with. Unfortunately, they are working as a two-man team, so that is probably going to hurt them in the long run, but we do see Hate actually fighting against Xset here, and I think they're actually winning the fight.
Yeah, Hate needs the kills. Does clean up Xset there. Really nice play, and did make space as well. So they're going to have to move in. They could not have moved in with the team there. So really smart to push that team early before the zone was completely on top of them. I really like the play there out of Hate.
Yeah, Hate looking really strong. You love to see it, and you do see that they are actively looking across the way, trying to see where everyone is. Now, they do know that E8 is still above, and they're going to be okay, but E8 dropping down is going to be so detrimental to that team, so hopefully they got all the KP they needed, because they're going to be the focus of everyone's attention as soon as the last circle closes.
Yeah, they are, and you can see GG with another really good late game call here. They've been on top of it all day with these calls. Really tough to get this position, especially considering the launch site pull initially. And yeah, GG's been playing phenomenal today as far as getting position and putting themselves in a spot for big points.
Yeah, if GG wins another one after being in such a poor position, after having to res their teammate, I am going to lose my mind. But we do see Nano go down. It's going to be a two-man team, but it's enough to put down a lot of damage towards the other teammates here.
Yeah, and they're definitely caught in the middle right now. And I think it's only maybe a duo or a solo to their left. So they are just trying to stay alive as long as possible. You can see Zap on the height. You can see Hate as a full 3 stack, and they're pushing on the other side. So I think GG not going to be able to win this one, and Hate looking in pretty good position to get out of the bottom 10.
Yeah, Hate actually in a really good spot with this trailer and being able to just make sure that they continue the pressure on every other team here. And the circle keeps getting smaller and smaller, and they're going to have to move in and fight a team 3v3.
Here we go. It's going to be GG as a duo. Hate was a 3 stack, and Zap as a solo dropping down. Hate putting some good shots in here. Going to be fighting both of the last 2 teams, so actually could turn negative for them any moment if both teams coordinate and push at the same time.
Yeah, and that Horizon Q, I thought they were full sending it towards another team, but I'm glad they weren't. Yeah, they are looking really good right now. Now, GG, I think they were able to get their third member back up, but it's not going to be enough because they weren't able to fully heal. So now Hate's fully sending on GG, and that is the end of GG. Hate might go down in second place here, but they were able to secure the kill.
Yeah, great play there out of E8, being very patient. Hate had to push there, had to pick one side to push. And E8 holding the height, holding till the very last second and getting the dub there. I think it's the first win on the day for E8.
Yeah, it is. And I'm very glad. You know what? As much as I know GG is a great team and they totally could have won that, I am really glad another team won because I think they all were in such great positions. They all played so well. And E8 was definitely the underdog in that fight. So really good job by them.
Yeah, really good patience. They were just holding the height. They had to loot. And as long as they didn't make any big mistakes, fingers crossed, and it would work out like that for them. There's a chance that both teams look at them and focus them. With 3 squads up like that, it can get kind of dicey, and I guess they got a little bit lucky there at the end.
Yeah, and that's RNG and Apex. So, oh, and speaking of RNG, I hear we have another giveaway winner, but we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to give that special prize away.
Welcome back, everybody. That was game 5 of the $25,000 for those who dare Apex tournament. Before we go any further, I want to give another massive shout out to ASUS ROG and Intel Gaming for putting this on and giving us some content for the Apex community, you know? So for everybody who's looking for new gear for their setups, please check out the panels, ! sponsors in chat. Check them out. They got amazing products. You will be happy. And speaking of being happy, we have another giveaway announcement starting right now. So we have an ROG Cetra True wireless earbuds, to give out. So these are from ASUS, absolutely phenomenal headphones. So one of you guys are going to be walking away with this. They have Aurora RGB lighting, versatility with Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz mode, extensive battery life, and available in black or moonlight white. So make sure to check them out. And another thing that we have to do, I want to give a huge shout out again to Intel Gaming. Continuing a 15-year history, Intel is setting the pace as a technology leader in PC gaming and esports experiences, delivering world-class technology that pushes the boundaries of performance and supporting a growing ecosystem of key leagues, brands, and publishers. But guys, again, thank you so much to both our sponsors. But now we got to handle the recap, and we had some absolutely insane plays here. We got the replays coming up. Stella, talk to me what you see.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Not Moist just absolutely demolishing in this fight here, and this fight over in launch site was just ridiculous. Everyone wanted to be there for so long, and this is the winning spot that we saw E8 hold for so long, but everyone wanted it. And Juka, I don't know how you felt seeing some of your teams do so well in this one last game.
I am going to be honest with you. I was actually trying to find the Northern Lights outside during this game, so
Oh my
this
God.
recap is all news to me. Unfortunately, it's still too light out in Virginia, but from what I see on the leaderboard, unfortunately, Furia still has some work they had to do. They did get a couple of early points, but an early departure in the game, so that's not going to be enough. Hate, though, getting a lot of much-needed points in order to, I think, see a potential top 10 if they have one more decent game. So here's the leaderboard, and here we have the updated standings. And the left-hand side are going to be the teams that are looking pretty to play on the finals on June 21st.
Yep, so finals are coming up. We have a live watch party from Toronto. So these boys want to book their tickets to the finals, $25,000 on the line. I think even up to 14th place, which is Furia, if they have a good game, a lot of patience, they can make it into the top 10. But Stella, you're looking at the top 10 right now. 11th is tied with number 10. What do you see?
Yeah, I mean, 10th place, honestly, 10th and 9th place is kind of up in the air, right? Anyone can take that from 11th to 16th place, I think, because all it takes is a really good game for the placement and the extra kills you get at the end. So they're pretty close. I feel like Dark Zero may end up taking 9th, possibly, but I don't know. Furia's been playing pretty well. They finally woke up. Bricked is also doing. Bricked and Brown actually really showed up the last match as well. So I feel like it's going to be between those 4 teams. So Dark Zero, Brown, Bricked, Furia. I feel like it's going to be between them to fight for 9th or 10th spot. So we'll see, unless one of the top 10 teams just has a really bad game, you know? It takes one slip up, because again, Apex can be really kind to you one day and it can just absolutely crap on you the next.
Absolutely. I feel the latter. All right. I had a little bit of some ranked games today, and they were not going well. I think I played for 4.5 hours. I'm up 400 RP. So it was tough. But speaking of tough, it was a tough loss for Most Hated. I mean, they were looking good. They were dominating the lobby and got absolutely handled because they got a little too aggressive by a 2-man team, E8, that was sitting on height patiently waiting for their moment. Juka, you saw that happen, or by chance did you? No, all right, we were looking at the Northern Lights. We will see those later as well. So Stella, you saw that happen. What did you think?
Yeah, I think here's the thing. I think just because there's a team that's down to a duo, I don't think you count them out because you're still able to play with angles. You can play with cover. Also, if you're able to switch off who's shooting when, even when someone gets low, it's so important. I think that's something that a lot of people kind of forget in the heat of the moment, right? You're like, oh my God, we have numbers. It's fine. We should go. But it's really easy to make simple mistakes when you're in this rushed field. So yeah, I think a lot of people forget about that.
Yep. And I think that's a huge difference between teams that, qualify for LAN or teams that may have just made Pro League, which is, an accomplishment in itself. But you're playing in Pro League to make it to the LAN, right? And I think we've seen that of Most Hated in Pro League, where they're a little too aggressive. They're not truly getting used to the play style of a little more patience, because sometimes doing less is doing more. And I think a lot of the LAN winning teams and LAN qualifying teams sure know that. Juka, we saw some of that at ALGS in LA this weekend. What'd you think?
I unfortunately could not be at ALGS in person, but I did watch every single ounce of every game that I possibly could. I want to say to both of you, well done. You guys were such a pleasure to watch, and absolute naturals there on the stage. But yeah, so it definitely plays out a little different once you're on that ALGS stage compared to when you're just one of the teams that are in the qualifiers or trying to get into the qualifiers. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of diversity with the comp tonight, is because it's a qual. Top 10 is really all that matters. And it's really refreshing to see, we've got a 10-point discrepancy between first and second on the leaderboard right now, but pretty close scores overall, especially for the middle of the pack. And it makes it really exciting for us. The meta could shake up on this final game. Maybe we'll see something more similar to the style of gameplay that we're going to see in the finals on the 21st. But tonight's been all over the place. We've seen crazy edge gameplay. We've seen people play zone. We've seen more conservative games on World's Edge. So it's given us a little bit of everything tonight. And I'm excited to see different teams pop off.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of a little bit more of everything, we saw a lot more of alters come out. So I'm really excited for that. Well, game number 6 is starting right now. Ladies, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Peep. I'm so excited to see if we're going to see any more clutch alter plays, especially with down teammates, because again, I think that's one of her most useful abilities with her kit, the fact that you can just reset with your teammates, but you have to be so careful with it. And Sweet did a really good job of figuring out when exactly that moment was.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I have not played Alter yet. I've been letting Andrew try to figure her out first on the streams to put on a better show, so I'm anxious to give her a try, but after seeing some of the abilities used in tonight's tournament, I'm intrigued. I definitely want to give her a go. I feel like I might be a little disoriented coming out of her queue, but as long as I can figure that out, could be fun. But let's take a look at another interesting comp. As we said, this is MLV rocking the Crypto Catalyst and Alter. Can they make these legends work for them early game? And oh no, Emma getting down to about 50 HP, getting sent up to high ground, going to try to finish what her teammates started, and great shots, but it's not enough.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Just one bullet shy of securing the kill, and MVL is out, but the fight's not over yet. It looks like there is going to be a third party coming in, and it is Brown looking healthy, trying to secure the extra points in KP, and STN is also out. That's 2 teams out back to back in Landslide.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. STN was sitting with 12 points. They did get a couple of kills there, but that's not going to be enough, so we will say goodbye to them right now. Brown, one of the teams that has a lot to gain with this. They had a really rough start tonight. I think not many points at all in the first 2 games. They were sitting in 18th or 19th, but then kind of popped off in game 3 and have been getting a little bit better every game.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really excited for this zone pull. Looks like it's going to be towards the geyser. And I am really happy that we got a different zone. And it's not like LAN where everything kept pulling the same area. So I'm really happy for that for our last 6th match here. Furia, they actually survived off drop. So, hey, it's looking good for them.
It's looking good for them. They still are sitting on white shields. I thought they were contesting on drop, but it looks like they opted to land a little bit further west rather than take the early fight at staging. So not sure what's going on with them. Triple blues now though, so we're sitting pretty. 18 teams are up, and this is the final game.
Yeah,
last
honestly,
chance to get a top 10.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes avoiding a fight early on and opting to go for the Evo is really important because you can have blues while your opponents will still be on whites, and that's kind of what will make or break a fight now. But it looks like Complexity sitting on whites, still not able to quite get their 50 off their next Evo. He does get blue, but unfortunately that's not quite enough. They are getting hit by this team outside of tunnel.
And I think this is Brown that they're fighting, and this is a really close fight. It is just going to be Monsoon, last player left, and they are taking the Horizon Q at the same time. These hipfires have to hit. Do not let that Horizon heal up in the air. We're going to drop down with the Sentinel. Get the thirst on possibly one. Working on getting a thirst and a shield swap, but no. We do have smoke at play if we need it, and I would go ahead and pop that smoke because that is a Horizon player. You know what that means. And they do go down. Complexity finding an early exit. They were in top 10. I don't know if that's going to be enough for them to hang on to it.
That's just unfortunate that they did not have a full auto weapon and were not able to find the hits on that Horizon before she got her bat off. So very good play by Brown there, but unfortunately they are also getting chased by ELN.
All right, ELN was one of the teams that I believe Furia was fighting on drop the last couple of games. ELN finally able to actually play out a little bit on this map and potentially clean up what Complexity was kind of trying to start. Looks like Furia might push in behind them though, so these two teams still might meet yet again as they are getting shot in the back. Madness getting the crack with a 30-30.
Yeah, what is happening in this one zone? There's so much happening at Landslide. Now we do see this Conduit ult trying to hold them back. It does slow them down just a little bit, but they are going to be still in a full pursuit. They have a Conduit, so they're going to feel confident going into this.
And I think they're shooting behind them. There is another team even behind them. It is just a trail of never-ending teams fighting at this tunnel here. At this point, I like this option to go ahead and Horizon Q up to the high ground, get a little bit better position. We have the ultimate if we need it. We're going to hang on to it as long as possible, and we might see all of Furia now just try to lay low, although they're very susceptible to getting grenaded in that little spot. They just need to lay low until the team in the tunnel comes out and the team behind them, which is DSG, decides to push out. And that is going to be a knock with the frag on Madness from the hands of Timmy.
Yeah, that was a great grenade there, but unfortunately Sykes and Timmy does go down, and it's Oxygen Esports coming in now. What is happening in this one area? There are so many third parties happening, but no one was able to really secure anything until just now. DSG is now out, but the other teams that were there are still doing fine. Furia still alive here.
Yeah, but they're really split right now, and I'm pretty nervous because it looks like we have Brown kind of behind Vax and then OXG behind Keon, but Madness, I didn't see Madness there, so they did already get the res on him too, it looks like. So Furia, while they might be split, at least they're all up. This is wild, just team after team here, and they're gonna go back to staging. No, they're not. No, they're not. Vayne is able to see pixels that I can't even see. And okay, Vayne. Okay, this is why you're a pro, and I never pick up the wingman because I never have shots like that.
Yeah, and the wingman did get a nerf this season as well. It no longer takes any mags, so it only holds 6 bullets unless you're using the fast reloader. So it is something that they have to work with, but it has not stopped them from being able to hit those shots. Now Furia still working as a 2-man here. They did end up getting Madness's banner, which is good, but they are so split, and they're not going to be able to find time to recover Madness if they don't get out of this position.
Yeah, this is, oh, we might be able to almost get a pick there. Keon with the great shots with the Hemlock, showing exceptional range aim, and they're back together now, but I just don't know which way they can push up. There's teams on all sides of them.
Yeah, it is very interesting that they've decided to stay in that position for so long because they are losing. They have lost a member, but let's go ahead and take a look at the other side of the map where the zone is pulling. Now we do see C9, SSG, and Bricked in this one area, and GG inside the cave, looking to come out and potentially take a third party on whoever decides to fight.
Yeah, well, GG are sitting pretty. You know, they have close to 70 points already. They're in first place. They played exceptionally well all night. They can really just lay low, but I think at this point they're just viewing this as a good practice, and they wouldn't be competitors if they didn't try all 6 games. So interesting to see a lot of teams situated. Stella, do you think this zone's going to pull to the no-name or stick in the Geyser side? Because they seem to think it's going to be going no-name based off where all those teams are sitting.
I know. I'm not sure. I would prefer no name, but who knows? Every time I want it to be in a specific area, it goes to the opposite. So maybe it's going to be Geyser instead.
Guys, there's got to be one of my least favorite end zones to play in, though. But, you know, it makes for fun to watch. And since I'm not playing and I'm just watching, I'm kind of hoping for Geyser. Oh, Brown eliminated. That is an unlikely early departure for them, too, and most likely going to be the end of the road for them as they were sitting in the middle of the leaderboard with only 19 points.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but we do see Oxygen actively looting through and trying to cross over into the other side of the map. Now, Not Moist is here as well in Geyser, and I think they are looking at this team. I don't think they want to fight quite yet. They do have the caustic, so they want the team to come towards them if possible. But I mean, Guild is being pretty bold just looking at them straight on.
Yeah, they're banking on no one coming out through the tunnel behind them, but they did just get scanned. Might try to hit him with the counter scan. That catalyst in the building is just going to keep locking those doors faster than you can break them down. It's just not worth using the grenades to mess with them too much. They can kind of coexist, but LG, I think, fighting Dark Zero here in a pretty out in the open zone.
I feel like most of the times we've seen Dark Zero, they've been caught out in this one location. And Sweet trying to get his Sentinel shots off, but unfortunately wasn't able to connect. So they're all gonna have to trail in after each other inside the circle.
Yeah, I mean, they could go the other way, but no, I think that they want to push up on this. LG's been doing a good job pretty much all night of kind of playing just edge, and they have punished teams that were trying to take these edge fights as they were even more edge, and that's a great shot out of Sweet as they do get the team fire and the knock on Zero.
Yeah, now they are going to try to finish this kill, but it may be a little too far out. Okay, so they do get the knock on that and the finish, but unfortunately, they are getting landed on as well since everyone's trying to rotate in over to the other side. And that's going to be Furia.
Furia, yeah, Furia having to utilize a bunch of resources here to just try to stay alive and avoid LG as much as possible. Now, LG thankfully was looking over at the team in front of them, so they might have a bit of an advantage as Furia now can just rotate in a couple of feet in front of them, and we have 3 teams rotating together, side by side by side.
Yeah, they're just going to be mirroring each other, and they are able to run through the circle for a bit, and they do have the conduit to help them out if they need, but it is going to be something that they want to rotate out of as soon as possible.
This is a wild fight. I think Furia's just made the decision of, hey, you know what? We got a knock. Let's capitalize on this. If we want to make top 10, we can't just get a 3-kill win. We really need to have a big game, and they're playing like it right now, so they're taking the risk. They really don't have anything to lose at this point.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how they decide to take risks when it is the last game of this series. But we do see SSG actively holding out. I believe it was GG that was inside the cave. They do want to take this fight because, again, they want to get the KP. Oh, and they did catch someone outside, and it's Dynasty Phony taking them down.
Yeah, that was immediate destruction on the Horizon ult. It's so funny, and oftentimes people think and forget how quickly you can shoot it out, but you got to reload your mags after that, and that is a nice wipe. That's Hate eliminated, but there are more fights to be had as there's another team deeper in the tunnel, and it's going to be GG that are on the retreat right now, trying to heal up to go help Louis.
Yeah, and it was GG that decided to hold back that time. Hate was actually the more confident team in that fight, which, I mean, it didn't work out for them, but now Flat has to defend their zone here.
Okay, GG walking up, taking space, trying to make the most of what's left on this Beast of the Hunt. Those grenades are too good as Quizzer's about to lose their shield, and they do back up. Haven't lost a player yet, but Not Moist is going to be aggressive on this. They seem to be winning this exchange, and I don't know how they can see what they're shooting because there are flames everywhere. But they're going to go back and hold their high ground and maybe push up a little bit on this fight.
Yeah, Not Moist is honestly not that far off from being able to get their next Evo shield and their next upgrade. So this fight just could not have come at a better time for them. And hopefully they are able to secure some KP. But it is GG, and we know that team is pretty good at fighting under pressure. And there is another team, possibly SSG, looking because they know there is a fight happening. But they're not quite ready to invest in that yet.
I think we're looking at another cluster of teams really at this side of the zone because I even saw another team behind them through the silhouettes in the map. So this could just be another never-ending fights unless they opted to go through the choke outside. This is Not Moist pushing up finally, maybe finally committing to this fight. And yeah, we do. We have, is it Quieto walking up, wanting to pinch them now, getting a player down.
Yeah, Mountain was trying to make the most of their bullets. Ooh, does get the elim on LG, who is now out. But they still have to make their way out. They're trying to get the res, but they weren't quite able to successfully get that off.
Okay, they are really turning the tables here as Not Moist was losing this fight against Quieto, and it looks like they did end up getting some kill points there. Is that enough for them? I'm not sure. Quieto was sitting with only 12 points on the leaderboard, so we're going to probably say goodbye to them, but they got to feel pretty good about taking out a strong team.
Yeah, now Oxygen looking especially strong here, but actually loses Panders in this skirmish. So now it's down to Aiden and Vayne.
This is going to be tough for them. This is not a good position. This didn't play out well. Vina also going down. We're just losing teams left and right. And you can tell a lot of it was because half the lobby was situated at Geyser. The other half was situated at the No Name. Kind of a disconnect of where exactly this zone was pulling. And that's why we have this many teams fight after fight in this tunnel. I feel like I've seen everyone on a Beast of the Hunt Bloodhound ult nonstop. It's just been Bloodhound after Bloodhound. I wonder how many Bloodhounds we actually have in this game here. Bloodhound just so strong in competitive Apex.
Yeah, and GG has still been able to be in the fight. They are so good at knowing when to pull out, even if it means that they're losing out on KP. They have done a great job of surviving and playing to their strength. But they do also know there are teams waiting for them as soon as they exit out into No Name. So it is one of those things of which battles do we pick? And I think they are opting to try and fight the teams inside Geyser because they have no other way out.
Yeah, they really don't. So SSG did a great job of backing up when they needed to earlier. They were one of the first teams in this area, and they heard all the commotion inside, and they said, no, we're good. We're just going to chill out here. They finally making their way back in, and partially that's because Zone 4 closing right now. And let's see if they can... Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to... Oh, that Caustic ult is going to slow them down. This is going to be a tough push.
Yeah, unfortunately, they were not able to really make do with their split attention here. SSG is now out. So GG now has KP under their belt, and they're going to have to fight their way out of this as well.
GG just gunned them down there. That was impressive. Yes, abilities were at play. Caustic slowed down a bit, but GG, I would not want to fight any of those guys. Oh my goodness, they're not losing a fight tonight.
Yeah, and we see E8 coming up towards where C9 was, but I think C9 was actively looking at another fight as well. They have a team existing underneath their building, and now we're also going to see GG coming out of that cave as well. So it's just about to become a real cluster here.
Stella Dark Zero was just eliminated. They were kind of in the middle of the leaderboard. I don't know if they got enough to survive. I mean, 7th place. I don't know how many kills they had. We will have to see in a bit if that is enough for them to secure a top 10 spot. But GG, speaking of securing a spot, guys, you made it. Congratulations. We will see you on the 21st.
It's so funny how many teams are stacked in layers in this building. It is incredible. And we know that there's another team on the... Yeah, no, they figured out how many teams are here. It looks like they are opting to go for the cover underneath, but they know that there is another team on the other side of this building. And there's another team looking at them from both hills. So there is no escaping this building.
Yeah, they can't walk out in front of them. They'll get shot in the back by the team inside or the team on the roof or the team on the other side on low ground and the team in front of them. So it's just really tough. But look at Furia kind of sitting like kings of the hill right there, needing a couple more points to try to move up that leaderboard. GG are making their way up and over. And this is a risky play. I don't think they get out of this.
I don't think this was one of their more educated moves that they picked. I don't think this is something that they quite thought through. But hopefully they do end up making it. Nope, he goes down. Nano's the last one, and they are out. GG, making the worst decision of the night here. But that actually prompted all of the other teams to look at each other, and Exet shooting down at Bricked here ends up taking one down.
Okay, Reptar holding high ground with the L-Star, just kind of letting it sing here. Xset sitting pretty. Now they need to make sure they don't get shot in the back from Furia. Fury is a bit behind them, and that catwall will go down, kind of griefing a little bit, but love to see the comp that they're running to, and Furia maybe taking some shots down at Xset. No, they want to hold their position. They want to hold their position, and I think that's a really good call out of them.
Yeah, no, Furia's in a really good position here. They're doing a great job of poking, making sure that no one enters their space. And they actually end up taking down Nocturnal and no aimbot. Xset was eliminated, and Furia is just king of the hill here.
Oh, that was what they needed. Those shots right there coming out of Vaxlon too. I mean, that was just too beautiful. Vaxlon, the newest addition to Furia. Love to see him building that synergy and playing well with the team, as they now have E8 kind of taking some space. There's plenty of cover. This is definitely a situation where Fury is on high ground, but I don't know how much of an advantage it is, because they're pretty much where zone ends, but they don't have any cover, where E8 actually has the rocks they can kind of chill behind for quite some time.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest space we've had for a top 2 situation today. Like, it's actually just 2 squads left, and they have all of this space to play in. I feel like Furia still has the upper hand here. I think that they have been able to spread out and take so much space that E8 is going to struggle to find a way around the rocks, but you never know. I mean, they might be able to sneak around.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're not seeing Furia take some angles on them, but again, so risky because E8 dropping in now, having to fight off the Horizon ult, and this is looking good. Madness just dominating the team with the Havoc. Okay, no. Vax goes down, a little bit of a trade hit, but not enough. Furia do win the final game, and what a rough start for the tournament for them, but you know what? They finished on a dub. I'm proud of the guys, and I think that should be enough to secure a top 10.
Yeah, I think that definitely shoots them up into top 10 for sure. So we'll be definitely seeing them in the finals. But man, I'm just so upset that GG made one of the worst mistakes that a team could make. There was so much space there. And again, that was the first top 2 situation, and even top 3 situation, when there was an entire field to play with 2 teams.
Yeah, I mean, Furia really needed that. GG, they had the points. They were fine. Let's take a look at some of these plays, and let's bring our hostess back. Excuse me, host back
hostess
in here.
With the mostess. Yeah, I know what you meant.
But yeah, that works.
I could be a hostess. You know, what's up, everybody?
With the mostess?
We are back. Wait, I don't know about the mostess. I think you guys got that. You
okay.
know?
All right. Well, how about you break down some of these plays? All right. We didn't get to hear you break down anything, so let's hear you break down these plays for us.
Yep. I mean, phenomenal sentinel shot there from Sweet. Furia just coming in and just cleaning up some squads, and then just a classic textbook wipe right there. I don't know what was going on in that tunnel. I believe at some point there were 7 teams in total that have, took part in that fight, but these wingman shots might be my favorite play of the entire tournament. It was absolutely nuts. And then, just a quick wipe here for Furia. I know Drew and Juke are very happy about their win there at the end. And I believe, all right, based on the points that I saw on my screen, I believe it was enough for them to book their ticket to the finals, which we should be getting a leaderboard pretty soon. I mean, Juka, if Furia doesn't make the finals for the $25,000 for those who dare Apex tournament, what are your words to him?
I mean, I have word. It's going to be his Watson, his and hers live for the new team. So, I mean, hopefully it doesn't come to that, but might have to.
I think we need to start a Twitter thread
his
or
and
something.
His and hers live. Right, yeah.
I'm all for it. I am all for it. I will support that till the day I die. But no, phenomenal last game. I do know, speaking of phenomenal, somebody is gonna be walking away with a phenomenal set of earbuds. We have our giveaway winner, Jag Cass. All right, you won a pair of ROG Cetra True wireless earbuds. All right, just for entering the word legend into chat on the Soar Twitch. Massive congrats to you. But I mean, I'm trying to think of the top 10 right now. And other than Gaming Gladiators, I'm not even sure if Dark Zero managed to make the top 10.
I don't know, because they were definitely on the 11th to 20th side. You know what? Yep. I want to make sure Complexity made it. I'm not entirely sure. But here we go.
Well,
Dark Zero just barely doesn't make it.
Wow. All right. So I'm looking at the 10 that didn't make it. And the ones that stand out to me, Oxygen Esports, Dark Zero, which, by the way, got a second place at LAN, if I'm not mistaken, last week.
Yes.
But, I mean, Juka, we're looking at the top 10 here. Take me through it.
Congratulations, GG, Gaming Gladiators, Cloud9, Elevate Gaming, SSG, LG, Disguise, XSET, Furia, Complexity, and Not Moist. You guys, I can't say you all played consistent tonight because that definitely was not the case, but you definitely put on a heck of a show. It was so fun to watch. Huge thank you to the amazing sponsors tonight. You can do exclamation point sponsors in the chat. Make sure you support them as much as they're supporting the Apex community for making tournaments like this possible. And I also do want to say real quick, thank you to Soar for reaching out to Andrew and myself and Nice Wig and Greek for taking a vacation so we had this opportunity to play to cast this tournament. So, thank you guys for the much needed vacay. We're happy to step in, and I think we'll be seeing them with the finals again in Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a good time whenever we have an event like this, get the Apex community together. Stella, final thoughts on the $25,000 for those who dared Apex tournament.
Oh man, so I'm looking at the other teams that qualified, and it's going to be a banger of a series that you're going to be able to cast. I'm actually so jealous. So I'm really excited. I cannot wait to see how people play. You know what? If GG keeps up the speed and ferocity that they had today, I think they might come out on top again, but we'll see. We'll see. All the other teams may wake up. But I'm just going to keep my anticipation up for June. So.
Yep. Well, June 21st, we will be back here on the SOAR Twitch channel with a finals grand watch party live from Toronto, Canada. First time in Canada for me, which I'm super excited about. But before that, I want to give a huge shout out to SOAR for putting this together, hosting this tournament for the Apex community. Massive shout out to Intel Gaming and ASUS ROG for sponsoring the entire thing. I mean, phenomenal prizes for chat, $25,000 up in the air for the contestants, but not to mention the content that was able to be taken away from this tournament. Absolutely phenomenal time. And another shout out to you guys and the production team, because this was a blast. But I think that is it for us here at the For Those Who Dare Apex tournament. We will see you guys on June 21st, live from Toronto, Canada, and we'll see y'all later. Thank you.
All of it closely. I played it innocent. in the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall, fear I weighed the person you